we've got a Friday night delight here in the Valley of the Sun. As TCU, number 24 in the country, comes a call-in against the Sun Devils of Arizona State, the defending Big 12 champions. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Brando. By my side, old number 98, Devin Gardner. You'll hear from Josh Sims momentarily. Listen, we've talked about it ad nauseum through this season already. A lot of great quarterbacks you haven't heard of, but I think maybe the most underpublicized is Josh Hoover of TCU.
Yeah, coming into this season, not many people had Josh Hoover as one of the best quarterbacks in the country, including myself. However, I'm not the guy that wants to be right. I want to get it right, in the words of our colleague Colin Cowherd. And when you look at the tape, the more you look at it, the more you love him. How about what the tape says about this really talented quarterback? Firstly, he is an elite, high-level processor. He knows exactly where to go with the ball and how to get it there. His intermediate accuracy is very impressive, and then the ability to make plays, that's not something where his game is built on, but last week he proved that he can do it when his team needs him. Tonight, I'm just telling you, Tim, a star could be born.
Well, with that in mind, the Arizona State Sun Devils are making their way onto the field before what was dubbed a blackout night, and it is a sellout. But the late arriving crowd, due to the inclement weather we had all afternoon, might play into TCU's favor, but we'll have to wait and see. Given the circumstances last week with Arizona State, they got out of Baylor with a win, but Dillingham would tell you in a heartbeat, we got away with one. Without the turnovers their defense forced, the offense did not play up to their potential, which means Sam Leavitt had better be as advertised tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. For Arizona State, they're going to win or lose this game on the arm and legs of Sam Leavitt. And I'm just telling you, they go as he goes. And I want to show you a play from last week to show his skill set and what he's capable of. It seemed like Baylor had him, right? They did everything right, seemingly, and this guy made him wrong. They covered everybody. They had guys over the top. They rushed. They didn't get out of their lanes. They pushed him back in the pocket. They had a spy, and then he does what? He runs back, he finds a lane, and he goes and makes a play because that's what he does. For TCU, if you don't have an answer for that, it could be a long night in the desert.
Well, we have a special one in the Big 12, and it's coming to you from the desert, right here on Fox. The weather has cooled down by more than 20 degrees after all of that rain here in Tempe. Very comfortable atmosphere with a rare level of humidity at 83% after all of the rain. But the student body, as you can tell, is out in force, and the rest of this crowd is making their way in. The toss was won by TCU. They deferred, so Arizona State will receive. Nate McCashland will handle the kickoff chores for tonight's game. Sam Besessi is also going to see some time, and McCashland also handles the field goals. They lost their regular field goal kicker to practice earlier this week with a lower left leg injury, and it goes through the end zone for the touchback. So let's go down to Josh Sims. Josh?
Well, Timmy B, Sonny Dykes called this one of his best defensive units he's had in his time coaching. And one of the linchpins of that defense is senior safety Bud Clark. The ball-hawking, hard-hitting safety is good enough to go to the pros, but he came back for another year to improve on his skills and work on getting a championship. When he found out about ASU's wide receiver Jordan Tyson, said he was excited to go against this guy. If those two get matched up in this game, look out for fireworks, Tim.
All right, Raleek Brown is in the backfield. He carried it, touched it 24 times in the game with Baylor last week. They don't want him to have to touch it that much in tonight's game. As you look at Sam Leavitt, young man out of West Lynn, Oregon, who has been such a wonder kid. Big 12 Player of the Year season ago, transferring in from Michigan State in 23. He is the heart and soul of this team. And up front, he'll be behind Coleman at center, who has been fantastic in calling offenses. And there's Jordan Tyson right on cue, as mentioned by Josh Sims momentarily. Vernon Glover, number 26, with a tackle, but it's a gain of 11 and a first down.
Yeah, it's a nice job of getting their guy involved early in the game. A week ago, He was held to just 7 receptions for 43 yards and 1 touchdown, a critical touchdown, I might add. But getting him involved early is very important in this game.
And it took him 2.5 quarters to get his second catch of that game. Baylor was all over him. He has to learn to be one of the hunted this year. As Malik Brown got away, they thought they had progress stopped. They're going to rule him down at the 44. Austin Jordan will be credited as he stepped out. Gain of 4, so it's 2nd down and 6.
It's a nice start for Levitt. You can see here he's going to wrap up, and I think he does fall on top of him. He's not down. I think that might be a mistake by the referees there, and TCU got away with one.
They did, and I think they may have thought that the knee hit when he was trying to brace himself and get up. It did not.
So that's something you can't review, though, because the play was stopped. It stopped, and you have to live with it.
Absolutely. That's a slant thrown behind Malik McLean, the redshirt senior out of Daphne, Alabama. This is a team that relies so heavily on Tyson. And
there we go, that lower shin might have grazed the turf, right?
I don't know. I think they got away with one. I do.
It's all water on the bridge now.
Yep.
Third
It is
down.
As we say, video heaven. 3rd down and 6. A lot of 12 personnel in this offense. Brown trying to bounce out. Hard to do it. Oh, the ball came out late. Are they going to rule it a fumble? It came out late. TCU says they've got it. As he was going down, the ball came free.
And as we talked about, it rained profusely all day, so you know that ball security, slipping, all those types of things come into play tonight.
Zach Chapman looks to be the guy that came away with it. And it is a fumble recovered by the Horned Frogs, and the elements do come into play here.
Our partner Josh R. Sims talked about him at the top.
Yep.
You can see Bud Clark doing his best to rip that ball away. I think they will review this, and they're going to have to take another look. It looks like his knee is down, and he did keep a grasp on that football. It's something that needs to be reviewed, I think, and it looks like they're going to stop it.
Previous play of a fumble is under further review.
He had about a 1-yard gain. The officials were very late to make a decision on this. A lot of times they allow replay to do its job. But forward progress, it seemed, had not been whistled dead.
Yeah, and the issue would be, did his knee go down before you got real movement from the ball?
Yeah.
And though Bud Clark was snatching at the ball, it still feels like to me Malik Brown had good control. Let's take a another look here. Here's the knee down, and I feel like he still has control of that ball, even though Bud Clark is snatching at it. That's a nice job by both players, because Malik Brown, that's tough to do with one hand, and Bud Clark trying to break that ball out.
But is it enough to change?
Yeah,
the decision?
because of the ruling on the field.
Yeah, the ruling on the field is fumble. This would, in my opinion, be very, very difficult to change, because you're right. He had some control, but the ball was being wrested away. Let's go to Mike Pereira back in our Los Angeles studios. Mike?
Yeah, we do see the ball getting ripped away. It's just as that right shin and leg down. It almost seems to me the arm is coming away from the body, which makes it look difficult, but I think he still has control. And again, all of us, including you guys, are going, I think, and I think is not a reason to change. We'll just see if they get a clearer look at this than maybe we're getting. But, boy, it's very close.
It is.
All right, Tim. You know, as I do, I'm going to get on the table here. I'm going to get on the table and say, they're going to say that he did not fumble the football.
I'm going to disagree with you.
All right, here we
I'm
go.
going to say that they're going to rule it, that there's just not enough irrefutable evidence. This would be, by the way, Arizona's first lost fumble of the season, if in fact the ruling is upheld. And Michael Vandeveld is our referee. The replay official, Gene Simcoe, hard at work. In a lot of ways, the delay in even ruling it as a fumble gave me some pause on all of this.
Hey, Tim, remember, I'm on the table.
I know you are.
I know that they are going to reverse this call, and it's going to be a punting situation for Arizona State rather than a turnover.
It was a heck of a play by Clark, regardless.
Why else do you think our great partner?
After review, the runner's knee is down. It'll be 4th down. Arizona State's ball.
Devin Gardner is 1 for 1. How about that? And by the way, I would like to thank publicly Mike Pereira in our Inside Football tape this week. He gave some homage to yours truly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Matt McKenzie is going to boot it away. He'll get it off at about his 35-yard line. Back deep. Gordon Dwyer, number 7. A low trajectory punt. Not his best. Out of bounds at around the, I'm going to say maybe close to the 25. And that's where TCU will take over first down. And here comes Josh Hoover. And this guy is magnificent. Now in his 4th season at TCU. And he has come such a long way in that particular time. Last year they got on a roll in the latter half of the season after a difficult start. And there is no denying now the confidence that Kendall Briles, his offensive coordinator, and his head coach Sonny Dykes has in him running this air raid. Trent Battle is in the backfield, and he'll carry it on first down, nothing doing. In fact, he lost a yard. Keyshawn Elliott, who's all over the place, number 44, the senior out of Richmond, Missouri, comes in to make the tackle, and it's 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, Tim, I concur with everything you said about Josh Hoover and the confidence this staff has in him.
Little play fake, and now bootleg action, and he slipped there and was in all kinds of hurt as he rolled right into Elijah O'Neal, one of those outstanding defensive ends. They got 3 of them. This 5th-year senior made the play.
I talked about the conditions, the slipping of players, and usually you see the defensive player slip, but right there, trying to make a play on the edge, Hoover goes down. What a nice job by Elijah O'Neal.
3rd down and 24 after the loss of 13. Hoover now just trying to get a little bit of field position, one would think. He is dumped at the 23-yard line, and Miles Reiser, that strong safety, he is a heat-seeking missile here, the senior out of Detroit City.
And you know exactly where he's from. He doesn't talk a whole bunch. However, when he comes to make a play, you hear the noise. Outstanding job coming from his middle position as a safety to go make that play on Hoover, who was really getting down the field and had some space.
I'll say this about Hoover. He got hit a bunch in that SMU game, the Iron Skillet game a week ago, but he bounced right back up all afternoon long and did the same right there. How about this kick from Ethan Craw? Wow. Inside the 10, and they will down it at the 6. What a marvelous sunset here in the Valley of the Sun. That was a 70-yard boot. Fox College Football is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Home and auto coverage you can count on. Tim Brando, Devin Gardner, Josh R. Sims. We're at Mountain America Stadium, originally known as Sun Devil Stadium, where all of those wonderful Fiesta Bowls were played prior to the new stadium in Glendale. This is what Arizona State's done this year. That loss in Starkville came off a blitz by the nickelbacker, and he slipped after coming from 17 down to take advantage. They were stoned at the line of scrimmage, then gave up a 60-yarder to Blake Shapen, former Baylor quarterback, now playing in Stark Vegas, and they lost that one. They believe that game was an anomaly, and they're going to make people forget about it as they get on a roll. That's Kyson Brown back in the lineup. They missed him a week ago. Obiizar, Namdi Obiizar, number 4, making the stop. There's Sonny Dykes, now in his 4th season with a historical first year in 22. Got them all the way into the college football playoff. Beat Michigan in the semifinals in the Fiesta Bowl before dropping the championship game to Georgia. Hoping to get the fire burning yet again in Fort Worth. Here's Levitt doing what he does best, ad-libbing after the play breaks down, getting a little something when it looks like nothing is available. And he's got a 3rd and manageable coming up, 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, if you're Sam Levitt right now, you have to know in the shadow of your own end zone, the big mistake can't come here, right? You're perfectly okay with punting this football away. If you can get the first down, that's all well and good. But turnovers and bag mistakes in this situation is not good for your football team.
Brown remains the setback. They have trips up to the top of your screen. Levitt rolls towards Tyson at the 40. When in doubt, Levitt will always look in that direction. And we've got a marker down in the backfield. And Levitt's reaction to it tells you all you need to know. Gain of 26, thrown in an area where holding.
Holding, number 55. Offense, half the distance to the goal. Still third down.
Obibo, 55. Jimeto Obibo, left guard, senior out of Arlington, Texas, in the far left. Right there.
You see there, he passes off, and he's a little late coming back to take on the twist. And that's a nice job of straining by Nnamdi Obiizor, because if you don't strain, you can't get the referee to see. But how about the catch? Jeez. He said, not today. I will not be held down.
Only 31% on third down conversions. Now they're looking at 3rd and 10. And they're backed up to the 6. Levitt dodges one, a lot of green grass. And there you go. How do you get out of trouble? The legs of number 10, Caleb Elarmzor, number 3 with a stop.
Hey, Tim, remember that thing I showed you in the open about how you can be as right as possible and he'll make you wrong? They got a free rusher that gets to him. He eliminates him with ease, and he gets down the field with all the backs turned and picks up a first down.
So now at the 20 after the gain of 13. Plus 305 positive rushing yards for this guy right here, Levitt. And here goes Raleek Brown. He had so many carries last week and really was the out pitch in the run game with Kyson Brown out. Now with Brown available again, they're hoping to limit those touches to around 10 to 15. Got 3 on that play, 2nd and 7. The safeties and linebackers, Clark, Obiizor, and Elarmzor. Number 3 and 4 fly to the ball. That one nearly picked. Harpole's got it. Well, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose when you're gambling in that secondary. And that's exactly what happened here. Watch from the slot here.
You can see Bud Clark. He knows exactly what's going on. He's man-to-man on the tight end, right? And he stands there, and as he breaks, he can see right away. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He breaks on it, but like you said, a bit of a gamble, and it doesn't pay off. A nice job of Sam Levitt getting that ball to the open guy.
And it was our friend Bud, right? Bud Clark trying to make the play. About a half second late, and now they get the first down. Just underway here in the opening quarter.
And Tim, watching the film, I didn't know how much better Bud could get, and he has improved even much more from a season ago. He's already a really good player, could have gone pro, but his ability to see what the offense is doing and diagnose it. You saw a play previously that was an example of what he can do.
He's an effervescent character, too. What a great guy to chat with. Here's Levitt again. Pass incomplete. Kanye Udo, the Army transfer, coming out of the backfield, was the intended receiver. And Andy Avalos, the defensive coordinator, very familiar with his counterpart tonight, Marcus Arroyo. Both have Boise State experience. Avalos even a head coach there at one time. Now the defensive coordinator at TCU. But these guys could likely play quite a chess match tonight. That's Arroyo to the right of your screen. Levitt on the run, lets it fly for Mateer, the tight end, who Kenny Dillingham would say, are they going to rule him out? I think they're going to rule him out, so it's incomplete. Even Kenny Dillingham would say the key to their offense is number 7, Shaman Mateer. He gets the screens open, he gets the play action going. They got to get number 7 involved early.
And coming into today, both these teams aren't very good on third down, but let's take a look. He has a foot down, but I don't know. I think he controlled that with his fingertips. That's an outstanding catch.
3rd and 10. Arizona State looks for 3 for 3 on third down, but it won't happen this time. The backside pressure. The blitzing linebacker, Caleb Elarmzor. A 7-yard sack. And it'll be a punt formation coming up.
Let's see if you can confuse them. You got 3 guys coming, and you have to decipher who are the guys I need to block. They don't block the edge rusher, and a very nice job getting to the quarterback is tough to do. We saw it on third down already. A nice job of corralling that talented quarterback.
McKenzie will boot it away. Ooh, they had the rush on, almost got it. High into the air. And it rolls out of bounds. Tough bounce for Arizona State. So TCU is going to get fantastic field position. Only 26 yards on that boot. They only had 27 on the one before, as McKenzie's been forced to punt tonight for the Sun Devils. 0-0 our score. Some high-level diagnosis from that third down play moments ago.
Yeah, so the point is wrong by the center, right? Ben Coleman right here, that spooks him, and so he takes his eyes here, and now they have 3 over 2. Well, we need him to be on this side, and if he doesn't, the running back has to come over here and make the play on the block. He doesn't, and that's why you have enough blockers, but you still give up a sack on third down.
The direction the center takes has so much to do with it. By the way, TCU's got a 4-time high school heavyweight wrestling champion Colton Deary at the controls. Number 51. Out of the shotgun for Hoover. And Joshua gets it out to DJ Rogers. Here's a guy that they really believe can make a difference. We got a marker down at the point of his tackle after an 8-yard pickup.
It's in a position of a formation type of deal.
Yep.
Where the flag is thrown.
That happens quite a bit in this offense with all the movement and the quickness of Sonny Dykes' air raid. They had 9 false starts last week. That's a lot to have at home. Got to clean that up. To overcome that, though, and score as many points as they did against an SMU team that last year was in the CFP should tell you something. And what was the last Iron Skillet game that they'll have for a long while.
Illegal touching of a forward pass. The receiver was covered up and caught the ball. It's a 5-yard penalty. Lost it down. 2nd down.
Yeah, that's exactly what you expect. And we're going to take a look, and you can see when there's a person on the line of scrimmage outside of this tight end, which you can see up here, that's an illegal formation, and that person cannot go out for a pass now. He does, he touches it, and that's why you have illegal touching.
Kendall Briles, the offensive coordinator. He's done a marvelous job since coming over. Little delay to Trent Battle. He gets it out to midfield in the arms of Miles Rouser, who will lead them in tackles many times over. Key inactives. Not having their kicker is a problem. And also not having Kavorian Barnes is a bit of an issue. The senior out of San Augustine, Texas. San Augustine. 3rd down and 10.
All right, so they saw the pressure that's coming. Do you stay with it if your defensive coordinator, Brian Ward, looks like he's going to back his talented rusher off, Miles Rouser?
Plenty of time on the play clock. Hoover. In the seam, he's got it. It's Dwyer. Jordan Dwyer, the most targeted wide receiver in this Horned Frogs offense. And it's a 1st down, gain of 19.
Tim, this is why we're so high on Hoover. The ability to layer that football over the linebacker and down into his receiver's hands on a critical down.
Battle. Not much. Maybe a yard, if that. Let's take a look at that previous play again.
I mean, the ability to layer the football. This is the arm talent. Up and down. Oh, just over the outstretched arms of number 44, Keyshawn Elliott.
Telling you, number 10 is special. The rest of the country is going to find out tonight. Quick slant. That's a rarity as he threw that one behind Jordan Dwyer. And Hoover knows that's on him. So it'll be 3rd down and 9. May have been the announcer jinx. What do you think? Did I jinx him there?
No, I think he'd be perfectly fine. And this is the third and long situation for TCU. This is not where they want to live, because now their left tackle, Ryan Hughes, is in a predicament where he's going to have to really stand tall and try to stop these rushers from getting to Hoover, as he has to hold the ball just a little bit longer.
5 wides, an empty backfield. Hoover In traffic to Dwyer again.
Hey, Tim.
It's almost like he wants to be in traffic.
Didn't I tell you he'll be just fine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gain of a dozen. Move the chains, and it's a first down for the Horned Frogs.
That's a miss inside with a lot of traffic from the Arizona State defense. These guys play extremely hard, so it's hairy sometimes when you're throwing into the middle. And I think that throw behind, he tries to protect his wide receiver. This time, he fires it right on there on third down.
Ryan Ward, the outstanding defensive coordinator, is back home now after those years he spent in Pullman, Washington at Wazoo when we first met him, calling the defensive shots for Kenny Dillingham. First and 10, TCU. Pitch to the wide side to Battle. Trent Battle dumped inside the 15 at the 13 by Rouser. Gain of 6.
You're going to hear that name all night. Miles Rouser. You're going to hear it in the back end. You're going to hear it at the line of scrimmage. He does a nice job of getting around the football. He just has a knack for it.
And whenever you hear a coach say his best football is still in front of him, you know he's good. This kid's been around a while, and he's only getting better. In motion, Battle follows the tight end Curtis, and he's got it all the way. Touchdown, TCU. What a block by Chase Curtis. I mean, he blew out the Arizona State defender.
It's a great job by everybody involved, but take a look at number 81. Watch him get through and get to the second level to cut off a linebacker trying to chase the play from behind. He does a nice job of cutting off Miles Rouser, who makes a lot of plays, and the rest is 6 in white. Trent Battle to the end zone.
Well, he had 60 yards on just 7 carries last week against SMU, but again, this is not a team that's known for getting a lot of yards out of the running back position necessarily. They'll take those. And the extra point by Nate McCaslin right through. We got a flag down. Flag down. Hold the tape. Hold the videotape down in the truck. We've got a little yellow hanky there.
That's what we call a tease, a little foreshadow that we may be going to commercial.
Yeah.
You never know. With our producer, it might not be that same angle. You just never know.
Running into the kicker, number 1. Defense, that penalties decline. Extra point is good.
Okay, they did.
Timeout.
All right. Take 2 for Jake Jolivet and Dustin Dente downstairs. It is 7-zip. Trent in for a battle tonight. Tomorrow, a huge day of football. It kicks off with Big Noon Saturday on Fox. And USC may have a Heisman Trophy candidate themselves. And Luke Altmaier, pretty good too. And Illinois stinging after that loss at Indiana. It's a Big Ten showdown in Champaign. Then at 3:30, Devin Dampier and Utah battle West Virginia. Rich Rod back in Morgantown. It all begins with Big Noon Saturday tomorrow on Fox. There's the scoring drive for TCU with the great field position. They took advantage of it. 7 plays, 51 yards. Jaron Hamilton is back deep, and it'll go well beyond the end zone for a touchback. And let's take a look at your top 5 Big 12 quarterbacks. And by the way, they could be in a lot of top 10s nationally.
I mean, it was tough. It was tough. You can see one guy absent that's on the field right now, Sam Levitt. But these are the 5 guys I think are playing the quarterback position the best. Now, for Sam Levitt, though, he's almost in a different category, right? I think he's one of the best football players in all of America. However, these 5 guys have done a nice job. And listen, the complaints. If you got them, there's the deal. And Tim, I blocked you already, so you can't get one. So, yeah.
Pre-snap flag, markers all over the place. By the way, if I told you that I would have put maybe in parentheses Will Hammond in waiting for Texas Tech.
Start, number 78, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Would you have been okay with that?
100%. Yeah. Both those guys as a tandem, right?
Yeah,
just in case, you know, the starter can't go.
What a job
Will
that
Hammond
kid did.
did a nice job,
What
man.
a job that kid did.
He's special.
He was more than ready for the big moment.
I mean, face never changed, right? He was like Jalen Hurts out there, just dialing it up.
No doubt.
Arm and legs.
1st and 15 after the penalty. Levitt. Boy, that was just a marvelous pitch and catch to Jordan Tyson. And by the way, as great as this guy is, trust me, he's being coached up big time. And of all people, the guy that's with him one-on-one is a Hall of Famer, a former Super Bowl MVP, and a guy that once not only played wide receiver at Georgia, but quarterback Georgia when Mike Bobo got hurt in the mid-90s. I actually got to cover his games. Hines Ward.
Tim, I can't tell you how difficult that last catch was. Can't wait to show you. It's almost an impossible catch, honestly.
Look out. There he goes again. He's got to manage to get back to the line of scrimmage ahead for maybe a yard. Elarmzor chases him and gets him down to the ground.
With the conditions that they're in right now, rained all day, you got a dig route coming. First of all, outstanding route. He runs routes really well. But now you got to finish the play. He's in full extension, rain all day, and he snatches it out of there with his hands. Incredible catch by Jordan Tyson.
Raleek Brown back in as the lone setback, and he takes it right up the gap. Raleek Brown with another first down. Perfectly timed call by Marcus Arroyo. Jamel Johnson, the safety, number 2, with the saving tackle.
Watch here, Caleb Elarmzor. He's the middle linebacker. Watch him block himself. He jumps outside. When you try to avoid offensive linemen, you create a huge cavity, and Raleek Brown finds it and gets through it.
Well, he took it from the Sun Devil 36 to the TCU 36, gain of 28.
You would much rather see him really hit that center right in the mouth and stand strong so that the rest of his guys can get in those gaps.
Brown, he managed that, didn't he? He waited for the block, and a little stop and start maneuver, picks up 11. Bud Clark, the team leader in that secondary, with a stop.
This is really good by Raleek Brown. After such a long run, watch the patience, right? He's going to go off the left edge, and number 10, Jonathan Bax, does a nice job, right? He sets the edge, he forces him inside, but he slows down, and then he finds right where he needs to go. Outstanding run by Raleek Brown.
Just great timing on his part. You're right. Tyson Brown checks in for him, number 1.
You think he had such patience because he's a little gassed?
Probably. Maybe. Brown twirled down after a gain of 2 by Jonathan Bax, number 10, the man for whom was in position to get away with that stop and then couldn't. He was grasping at air when Raleek Brown got free as we come down to the end of the first quarter.
That's a nice play by Bax. Obviously, on the previous play, he did a nice job, but it was a better play by Raleek Brown. That time, he had none of it. He stood strong, closed the gap even more, and made the play.
They're going against the wind on this drive, so they'll have the wind at their back once we get into the second quarter. They are going to get the play off. Looking long. Oh, and Clark dropped an INT. And he knows it. Oh, boy. You won't get too many more gift wrap than that. Malik McClain was the intended receiver, and that hit him between the 2 and the 1. We've come to the end of 1. Arizona State very fortunate to get out of this.
Tim, I'm just telling you, you won't see this too often. Bud Clark with a gift, and he's not able to capitalize. He's going to continue to make plays all night, but he's going to want that one back.
That's the offensive coordinator, Kendall Briles, and the defensive coordinator, Brian Ward, who are thinking and contemplating what's ahead when the ball switches hands.
Yeah, Briles is a little camera shy, right? He knew we were coming to him, and he said, you know what, I'm going to give you all my back.
Yeah. The red zone has been a struggle for them this season.
Yeah, right now they're in the high red, but a week ago that game was so close after being +3 in the turnover margin because of the red zone.
And down he goes. How about those active ends and linebackers, huh? Caleb Elarmzor all over the place. This kid can play. Senior from Hayward, California.
It's the same one they used before. We're just going to go here. Remember, it's a twist, and they have a guy off the edge. They did not get the point right again. The center goes left, so now it's 3-on-2 rather than having him go right and make it 3 versus 3. Nice job by the defense of TCU.
Jesus Gomez, 9 out of 10, 4-4 a week ago, including the 46-yarder to win the game. And here he is lining up for, guess what, another 46-yarder. 51 is his long. Wind to his back. Uh-oh. He hung it out. He hung it out.
This is exactly what we saw a week ago against Baylor. getting down the field, moving the ball well, and then getting into these opportunities in the high red or the red zone and not cashing in with points. And you really want to get touchdowns, honestly, Tim.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and call it myself, all right? We did jinx him, right? We gave him all those great numbers from a week ago, and ouch, he pushed it. A shank, baby, a shank. I bet you didn't think the Beard would be here tonight, but there he is.
He knew you were here.
From 07 to 09, played at Arizona State, and I do recall his days at the collegiate level.
He knew you were here, and you let him borrow your chain to be down on the field, right?
You like my bling he got, huh?
Oh, yeah. Chateau Brando. Right, let him borrow it. Diamonds on him dancing.
Actually, it came from Terry's stock. I just happened to have a copy of it.
Your wife Terry.
Yeah, my wife Terry. That would be cubic zirconia for me, the real stuff for her. Yeah. Just underway second quarter, TCU by 7. Jeremy Payne in the backfield. After the missed field goal opportunity, Arizona State shut down again as they were on the doorstep of the red zone. That's Jordan Crook, number 8, the linebacker out of Duncanville, Texas, with the stop.
So to this point in the game, we've seen that Crook, the linebackers, the safeties, Miles Rouser, Adrian Wilson, they've all done a good job of getting down the box and being in position to stop the run game. However, if you continue to do that and you get used to it, you can get those shots over the top if you're TCU. There it goes.
On a fly pattern towards the boundary, it's Dwyer, and he had a great opportunity at it, but it was knocked away by Rodney Bimage. Superb coverage. You're going to get some man coverage here. They know that, Arizona State, but they're physical.
Offensive coordinator Kendall Browse, he saw exactly what I saw. Safety's down, safety's low, throw the go. And you can see they did it there. I'm just telling you, Jordan Dwyer is going to make that play more times than not. And you can see quarterback Josh Hoover taking a shot and making a nice throw.
Yeah, he gets hit a lot, but he always bounces up. TCU is 2 out of 3 on third downs tonight. 3rd down and 7 here. 5 wides, empty backfield. Quick slant, caught. Oh, what a button hook by Manjack. Joseph Manjack, who's been around seemingly forever. No gloves, no nothing. He's an old school receiver, a guy that's been around too. From USC with love, now out of Tomball, Texas.
Off the edge, you replace him with the throw. A very nice job of Josh Hoover. Remember, I talked about that high-level processing. You see what the defense does, and you respond. And how about the old-school nature of Joseph Manjack IV? No gloves, 5 or 6 dudes on you, continue to drive, and somehow try to leak out.
No gloves, no stick 'em either.
Yeah, that's illegal.
How about this formation, huh? This will take you back. Little Emery and Henry, we call that. And there's Major Everhart on a jet sweep action out of it. That will actually go as a forward pass. Rouser pushes him out of bounds. Now there is an interesting formation for you. Go to work, my friend.
This is just Rouser versus Everhart. Rouser versus Everhart. A race to see who can get to the edge because everybody else is going to be blocked up, and Everhart wins that battle.
Goes as a 9-yard pass reception. And it's caught inside the 30, and that's Ezukanma. Dozie Ezukanma, number 82.
A redshirt freshman they really like. Great length, and the fact that they trust him in these situations to make a play. A very nice throw by the throwback player we love, Jason Manjack. Yeah. Joseph Manjack.
Manjack with he threw a dart there.
That's why he doesn't wear gloves. He's got to be ready to throw.
1st and 10. At the 29, a pickup of 17. Looks like Kendall Browse is emptying the bucket here. And that's going to be a marker. Dwyer against Bimage. And he had some jersey there as he was throwing over the back shoulder. That was a blatant interference call. But when you're in man, you're going to do that from time to time.
Yeah, and remember, we talked to
personal foul, face mask, number 7. Offense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first half.
What a break.
Yeah, we talked to head coach Kenny Dillingham, and he says sometimes you're going to get past interference calls if you play a lot of man-to-man. Now, You get a face mask call there on Jordan Dwyer, and you can see that's a great pickup by the officials. He has his hand in the face mask. And when we talked to defensive coordinator Brian Ward, he said, listen, this kid is the best I've seen at pushing off and getting away with it.
Well, heck of a pickup by the officials, because the announcer certainly thought that was interference.
Yeah, he didn't get away with it that time, though.
No, he didn't. Trent Battle is in the backfield on what is now 1st and 25 after the penalty. Stretch play, Battle in trouble. All kinds of trouble. Piercing through there. Martell Hughes, number 18, the sophomore, comes in there from time to time for Rouser at safety. He made the play. Now it's 2nd and almost an eternity, 2nd and 29. The line to make is all the way down to the 18-yard line of Arizona State.
Enjoy this with me. Watch him get to the edge and set it right away. You can see the helmet of the offensive lineman snap back. That's always a good job by a defender.
Hoover, he does it again. No problem. DJ Rogers has it inside the 10, all the way down to the 8.
Unfazed. It's like it doesn't even matter. It's like it doesn't even matter. A really outstanding job of, again, layering the football up over defenders, down into the arms of the awaiting DJ Rogers.
Jeremy Payne checks in, a gain of 39, and they needed 28 for the first down. You see how explosive this TCU offense is, and yet no one around the country, I mean no one, has talked about Hoover and TCU nationally. No one. Look at Payne for the pylon. It's touchdown. Touchdown number 1 of this year for Jeremy Payne.
There's no edge to the defense. As much as it was such a nice job on a couple plays ago, there's no edge. And with no edge, what an outstanding effort by Jeremy Payne.
He had 12 carries for what was a season-high 53 yards against SMU a week ago. He has certainly picked up where he left off. He and Trent Battle have made some outstanding runs.
For TCU, they get behind the chains. They've gotten behind the chains a bunch, but Hoover continues to bail them out.
McCashlin with the extra point. It all began with the big play to DJ Rogers, the tight end, the tight end that they said, you know what, we're going to get this guy a little more involved, no doubt about it.
What an outstanding job by Hoover. You get behind the chains, you still find a way to get down, and then Payne with the muscle in the end zone.
Eight plays, 71 yards, and they overcame a face mask penalty on offense that backed them up to a 2nd and 29, and were able to convert for the first down and then take it in for the touchdown. Pretty amazing. And they're getting yards, Devin, from people that I think historically, even this season, TCU fans would say, really, look what they're doing in the running game right now.
Yeah.
They really are.
And it starts with Hoover. He's doing an outstanding job of bailing his team out. Now, do you want to live in that? Do you want to live in 3rd and long and these penalties and different things like that? You do not. You don't want to have to keep depending on his talented arm. But to this point in the game, he's responded.
A little pooch kick that is taken by an up back. That's Harpole, the reserve tight end, and he gets it up to the 29. And let's go down to Josh Sims. Josh?
Well, they've got some activity going on the field right now, but Kenny Dillingham trying to up the intensity of the team after that last drive. As the defense came over to the bench, he was giving them the signal, more energy. Then he went over, talked to the defense, talked to the secondary, showed them some things on the tablet, and went back. Remember, this team down early to Mississippi State earlier in the year, came back in that game. Let's see if they can do something similar out here tonight.
Well, without a doubt. And when you talk about energy, no one's got more than him as a leader, as a head coach. But now, hard to believe he's 35. He still looks like he's 18 to me. Like he still should be taking a senior picture at Chaparral High School here in the Phoenix area. They swing it out to Raleek Brown. And he gets a nice healthy gain on first down of 5. Austin Jordan, the nickelback, senior from Denton, Texas, home of North Texas State University. just a little north of Dallas, making the tackle.
Tim, remember when we went into last week's game, the theme was you got to find other wide receivers to get involved outside of Jordan Tyson. Well, to this point in the game tonight, no other receiver has caught a pass. It's only been Jordan Tyson, the running backs, and the tight ends. They got to find a way to get one of those wide receivers involved to lighten the load for Jordan Tyson.
They really haven't gotten Mateer going either, the tight end, who was the often targeted tight end a week ago in the game in Waco. Jamel Johnson with the stop of Raleek Brown. It will be 3rd down and a yard to go.
This drive is starting perfectly. This is exactly what you want. Get into those 3rd and short situations. They've had far too many 3rd and longs early in this game.
There's Hines Ward, 2-time Super Bowl champ and MVP. 4 Pro Bowls in his career. There's not much that guy did not accomplish at any level of football. Had a great conversation with him yesterday. There's Kyson Brown, hammered and pushed back. That defense all over that particular play. And we got a TCU Horned Frog a little slow getting up. It looks like he's going to be okay. That's Dimba. Ansel Dimba, 92.
There's a lot of meat in there, and on these short yard situations, you want to recreate a new line of scrimmage, and the defense does that perfectly. I'm just telling you, the beef on that defensive line, those huge hogs stop the run as good as a lot of different teams in the country, and they're setting up a 4th down and short.
Well, they clearly want to give their defense a break, or you just don't do it. Looks like a timeout's going to be taken by the Horned Frogs. They give them a chance to think about it.
First charge timeout of the half.
Well, at the very least, he gets them to use one of their timeouts. A 4th down, go for it. They've gone 11 times on 4th and hit on 7 of them. So 64%. They're better on 4th down than they are on 3rd down. They touched on these big linemen, the triplets, the big uglies for TCU.
Yeah, you got Anzo Dimba, Marquise Deal, Paul Oyewale, and then you in the middle, this is the little brother that's bigger than the big brothers. They do a nice job together. They work in concert really well, and they are immovable objects a lot of times in that middle, especially Marquise Deal.
Oyewale is a strong, explosive guy. Deal is a run plugger, and Dimba, he's got those quick feet that you hear coordinators talk about it all the time. He's got some twitch to him, right?
Yeah.
He's got some twitch in his game.
And then with those 3, then you got Devin Deal, who's a outstanding, fearless rusher that just never, ever quits.
Well, this is a turning point play decision here. Brown is going to take a direct snap. That's Kyson Brown on a Wildcat, direct snap, and TCU was ready. This is going to be really close. I mean, it's going to be millimeters difference in whether he got there or he didn't. It looks like they're spotting him short, and the Horned Frogs take over on downs. How big is that?
Tim, I have to be completely honest. Watching one of the best athletes in all of college football sprint out and line up at wide receiver was a little heartbreaking up here. I don't understand how you don't have Sam Levitt involved in this play, and you will get an extra blocker if he's the guy running the football. Now, he reaches out late. Maybe they take a review. But whether they picked up that 1st down a lot or not, I do not like the call of not having the ball in the hands of number 10 in all black.
Well, Andy Avalos tells you the story, doesn't he? They got what they wanted out of that. They were well prepared for it, and you wonder how that's going to affect Levitt.
And remember, early in the game a week ago, there are opportunities for them to pick up 1st downs, and they took the ball out of Levitt's hands. And then later in the game, they started to make sure they get him involved in all those critical situations. But tonight, you're down 14.
Yeah.
You could go down 21 here, and it might be too much to climb back.
Oh, nicely set up, but Arizona State's defense, which has had to stiffen in the past, had to do it a week ago. And Keyshawn Elliott and Crook, the 2 outstanding linebackers, collaborate there for a loss of 3. You got to get them behind the chains, but even when you do, TCU has answered with the explosives. It's going to be an absolute slugfest when you think about it, and it's going to be a slugfest on the perimeter too. Those statements of Andy Avalos, the TCU defensive coordinator, it has been that and then some tonight. Hoover, little RPO action, gets it out to Payne late. And I believe he's got a 1st down. He may have been past the line of scrimmage. It was a backwards pass He threw it behind him, so it was a backwards pass.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He takes off. He's getting down the field, right? He sees some green grass, and he has the wherewithal to know he's behind me. Throw it back like an old school option.
Yeah.
What an outstanding play by Josh Hoover.
I mean, at first glance, you're thinking, oh, he's beyond the line of scrimmage, isn't he? And no, he threw it backwards. For the corner, on the fade, it's Ezukanma, and it's incomplete. Looking for Dozie deep. Dozie Ezukanma, and we got a marker down at the 10-yard line. Could have interference. And the spot foul would move the ball for TCU.
Pass interference, number 1. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
This is the matchup, right? You want to see, can these corners stick with these tall, long wide receivers outside? You can see holding all the way down the field. A nice effort, but take a look at the all-22. We've talked about how great this quarterback is playing. Look, he missed one. He missed one. A wide-open touchdown. He's bailed out there by a pass interference call. But when you're playing as good as Hoover's playing, you have an opportunity to miss. You know, you got to nitpick. You got to find things. And he misses an open target there, but a pass interference and a nice throw on the go route to draw the pass interference.
I bet you Joseph Manjack let him know when he got back to the huddle, too, number 14. That's the receiver that was wide open. Payne burrows ahead for 3 to the 10-yard line. So they can't get a first down without benefit of the touchdown if they get it to the 3-yard line or inside the 3. Well, I think we thought this game could be explosive, that we might see more scoring than we did a week ago with Baylor. I don't know that we thought that TCU could get out to a 3-touchdown lead, but they are on the precipice of doing just that. Battle and Payne both in the backfield now. They go with the extra tight end. That pass incomplete, intended for Manjack. Trying to get it to the back shoulder, right at the line to make. 3rd down and 7.
And to be completely honest, Tim, this might be difficult for TCU, right? They're used to those 3rd and long situations, and obviously this is technically considered long, but I look at it as more intermediate, and they're closer to the red zone. So what does that do to the offense? It shrinks the field, and so the defense has an advantage because they just have too many guys. I wonder what the call will be here. Screens are alive, and if you play man-to-man, those go routes on the outside are also a possibility.
Hoover's having to adjust some of his personnel. Clock is winding down to 3. Over the middle, incomplete. Great defensive work. Rogers, the intended receiver, and that's Jordan Crook. Number 8 got his arm in there to knock it away, and the Horned Frogs will have to settle for 3. That is a huge win for the ASUD.
Yeah, fans for Arizona State are at home applauding this defense. What an outstanding job. They're put in a bad position, and they make the play. That's a drop there by Rogers. Outstanding job by Josh Hoover throwing him open, but an even better defensive play by Jordan Crook.
Had 9 tackles, 5 solo in that Baylor game. This will be a 27-yard attempt for McCasland. Kyle Limmerman injured during practice earlier this week. Unable to go tonight. So that's good news for Sonny Dykes to see his backup place kicker get the job done. 17-0 Horned Frogs. 17-0. And right now, Kendall Briles has got to be feeling awfully good. The offensive coordinator for Sonny Dykes. Look at that. In program history, you think about fewest games to get to 30. Sonny Dykes right up there with Gary Patterson of TCU fame, who really built the program. Got it a Rose Bowl victory. Recently retired. And say hello to Gary. He's one of our favorites. And built the program on the basis of defense. And so where do they go when after Jerry Kill took over briefly and Gary was moved out at midseason? They go to an offensive guy that was across town over at SMU. And Sonny Dykes lit it up, got them to the national championship game in 22, and now trying to get back. They're having some problems with the wind, blowing the ball off the tee a couple of times. But you know what, Devin, we need to go back to that decision on 4th down. Now, that cost them another 3. They're very fortunate it didn't cost them 7.
Yeah.
But That's where I think sometimes you can get a little cute, maybe outthink yourself. And that's what happened.
And in this situation, you just want to think players, not plays.
Yeah.
All right, you want to think of players, not plays. And when you're thinking players, you're thinking number 10 in black.
Yeah. This one is squibbed. Taken by Kamari Anderson, the reserve tight end, gets it up to the 35-yard line. So pretty good field position after that decision to squib it. Take a look at that previous fourth down play.
All right. Where's Levitt?
Yeah.
He's down at the bottom, not involved in the play at all. If anything, make him a decoy. I mean, there's no situation for the rest of this game that this can happen again. He has to be involved in these plays to make sure that you have your best chance to execute.
So now Arizona State. They've dug themselves quite a hole now, but they do have good field position to open this drive. Their best of the night, really. Relief Brown. Trying to go wide, hard to do against this team. Maybe a yard, that's it. Austin Jordan, the nickelback, coming up with a stop. Well, listen, Arizona State, let's go down.
That's not a big gain, but I want you to take a look at number 9 in black. He's going to be double team on the outside, and then another guy's going to come. And watch what he does. Boom! Just takes Bud Clark off his feet. That's a talented safety that he just put to the ground.
Second down and 9. Swing it out again to Brown. And he tries to get something done with yards after the catch, and he's only 2 yards from the line to make. Devin Deal with the stop. These two teams, from a possession standpoint, Arizona State's had it longer. 12:53 to open this drive against TCU's 10:43. But explosives have been the difference. Arizona State, only 2 explosive plays. TCU has 3 of 39, 19, and 17. And they've done it when they had to have it to move the chains, when backed up, to keep drives alive. 3rd and 2.
The ball has to be in number 10's hands here.
Looking long, he's got a wide open Tyson. Jordan Tyson, hello, how do you do?
Players, not plays. Players, not plays. Players, not plays. Sam Levitt throws an absolute dime to one of the best wide receivers in the nation. Jordan Tyson with a streak to the end zone. That's why you keep it in the hands of 10 in black.
Gomez with the extra point. Tyson's longest prior to that play was 36 yards. This one goes for 57. His 6th touchdown and Levitt's 7th touchdown pass of the season. Fox College Football is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Well, we were just touching on explosives being the difference in this game. Why TCU had a 17-0 lead, and then all of a sudden, Sam Levitt says, I'll see you and I'll raise you with a numero 0, okay? I'm going to go with nada, get it into Tyson's hands, and he does. 3 plays, 65 yards, 57 of those on the 1 touchdown to bring the Sun Devils to within 10. And by the way, that late arriving crowd, because of the monsoon we had all afternoon long,
they're here.
They're here now. If you do a panoramic of this blackout, you'll see that these stands are full. What was a sellout coming in. 4:51 remaining here in the half, and now with the mojo firmly with the home team, let's see what TCU does.
An interesting story coming in. Number 70 on your screen, Ryan Hughes. The coaches were very candid about his need to play better. So they've given some opportunities to Quentin Harris. They told us they both will play, and whoever's playing better will get the nod. So we saw 54, Quentin Harris on the previous drive some. Now Ryan Hughes is the one that gets the nod here on this drive.
Arizona State has 171 total yards. TCU with 155. Turnovers have helped. Trent Battle Nothing doing this time. Keyshawn Elliott piercing through there at that linebacking position for a loss of a yard. That's what Arizona State defensively loves to do. Brian Ward's defense will get those tackles for losses early in a series, and you're playing behind the chains the rest of the afternoon and evening.
Watch 44, set the edge there outside, keep that outside arm free, make a play, and you can see he's kind of trying to rip at the ball as well.
2nd and 11. Crowd really into it now. Little shovel pass. Great defensive play. That had a chance without C.J. Fight putting up the fight right there in the middle of your nose. That could have gone for quite a ways.
Right there. I mean, he does such a nice job of having heavy hands, finding where he needs to go, and getting to the screen.
I mean, there was not another defender within 10 yards.
They've been here before, but they are behind the chains again. This is their 6th 3rd and long situation.
3rd and 13 to be exact. Hoover down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Jordan Dwyer, the intended receiver, and Keith Abney, who doesn't mind man coverage at all. And he says, look, if I get an interference, no problem. It's going to happen from time to time. He knows in this defense, he's going to be forced into press man coverage, and he'll take the good with the bad.
100%, and he's not the biggest guy out there. He's listed at 6 foot, but I'm just telling you, he's not that tall, right? Maybe 5'10", but he plays much bigger, and he's right there in the hip pocket of Jordan Dwyer and makes a play to get TCU off the field.
Abney is back deep. This is a beautiful end-over-end punt. Fair catch is made, and a marker comes down late behind the play. It did not affect the catch. Looked to be Jacob Hayes, 80.
Yeah, he's blowing by the guy, and he avoids him, but I think they're going to still get him for interfering with the catch.
Made contact.
Kick catch interference, number 80. Kicking team, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I mean, he was flying.
He was.
For him to even knock the guy down was pretty impressive.
Well, the wind held it up significantly. That had something to do with it. What's coming up on halftime? The Liberty Mutual Insurance Friday night halftime show. Sarge?
Coming up on the Liberty Mutual halftime, the big noon kickoff crew is in Champaign for USC Illinois. They'll have a preview. 8th-ranked Florida State could be looking ahead against Virginia tonight. Plus, a top 10 showdown in Happy Valley. Will Penn State rise up and rise to the occasion against Oregon tomorrow? Tim and Devin, we'll talk about it at the half. Hope you'll join us then.
All right, Mike, thank you. 17-7 our score here. Can't wait to hear from you and Coach Pete. Bruce Feldman doing such a great job in our LA studios. Malik Brown on the receiving end at the 42-yard line. A gain of 5. Jordan and Obi Izor collaborate for the Horned Frogs.
Here's the kick catch interference. You can see he's going to fly into your screen, and he avoids him at the last second, but he does hit that left knee, and it looks like it hurt quite a bit. Man.
I think it hurt Hayes more than it did.
Man.
Abney there. Here comes a blitz, a delayed blitz, and Tyson's got it. And he's got another first down at the 32. Tell you, Levitt kept his composure that time against that delayed blitz. Watch this.
Really nice job of going from the left and then finding the shallow cross. Jordan Tyson coming across the formation, and a really nice job of Tyson getting what we call friendly, right? Not blowing through the open zone, right? He kind of settles down, and he gets the ball right on his numbers from his quarterback.
One of the strongest guys on this team, given his weight. Malik Brown in that backfield. Look out. Levitt at his best. He really is good when throwing on the run. A lot of times against, you're running to your left, throwing back over to your right. Looks dangerous. He's pretty good at it most of the time.
I mean, he's his most comfortable in backyard football, right? He gets outside, and Canada is sliding all the way to the ground. He's not able to make the throw, but you can get a glimpse of how talented this guy is at the quarterback position.
And he spent time yesterday after the practice telling us, I really wasn't a great athlete when I started out.
I said, what?
We were thinking, of course, this guy's got to be the best athlete on his team, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, whatever. Levitt, he's going to take off. What an adjustment. What a spin! Spin, baby, spin! Levitt is special! Big time! Just take a look at this. A thing of beauty as we go to break. Baryshnikov would be embarrassed. My goodness.
Just beautiful, finding your targets, getting down the field, and finding a way to whoop, whoop, a little 1-2 spin. This guy is impressive, and we'll see you on the other side.
Fox College Football is sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands. Every now and then, it's just fun to watch the big uglies go at it.
Oh, definitely. And I'm just telling you, we're just showing this so you can enjoy it the way we did. Number 77, he starts off by doing his job, but he did nothing after that but run conditioning. Look at him, just chafed after his quarterback, seeing if he can get somebody. Trying to get there. He doesn't block anybody, but guess what? He's right there with his guy.
John Madden up in heaven would love that. He'd love to get the telestrator loose on him. Eusebio! Say so! Wow, Levitt! Big time! It looked like he had a filter in 83, and then bingo!
Hey, Tim,
what a play, what a design.
I'm just telling you, when he tricks the announcer, you know he's going to walk in the end zone. Outstanding job of ball handling by Sam Levitt. I said it before the previous drive. Players, not plays. The ball needs to be in the hands of number 10 in black, and he continues to deliver.
How about that sleight of hand, huh? By the way, he didn't just get the announcer. He got the spotter. He got the content coordinator. He got everybody.
So you're telling me David Blaine will be jealous?
Yes, without a doubt. Man. Sneaky. He's a little sneaky snake, that kid, right?
Very, very sneaky.
Sneaky snake. I was just about to bring up, Devin, the red zone woes of this Arizona State team once they got to about the 11-yard line, but that was easily erased by a couple of well-conceived plays and a talented quarterback like Sam Levitt.
Oh, yeah.
Man. And just like that, that 17-0 cushion is whittled down to 3. Ed Small is back deep. By the way, Ed Small is one of these fun guys to watch. He wears the number that Jack Besh once wore. Now he's in the National Football League. And he's a kid that you're going to hear his name a lot in the future for the Horned Frogs. Let's go down to Josh Sims.
Well, guys, last week Sam Levitt set a new career high with 15 rushing attempts in the game. When asked if he liked using his legs so much, he said, yeah, that wasn't necessarily part of the game plan. I want to preserve my body, but I'm also a ball player. And when you can run the ball like this and create plays for your team, he feels the need to go out and do it. Well, he's already halfway to that same amount of carries, and he's making plays. He's helped get his team back in the game. So you could probably expect him to do a lot more rushing like we saw from him last week, too.
His 5th rushing touchdown of the season, 10th in his career. And we're in the middle of just the kind of game we thought we'd have coming in. Jeremy Payne, he gets away. Keyshawn Elliott will shove him out. He got away from the first would-be tackler.
There's a battle waging on. We talked about the left tackle position on this drive. Number 54, Quentin Harris on your screen. He's in for number 70, the original starter, Ryan Hughes.
SMU had a lot of success with their 4-man fronts against TCU. Arizona State showing some of the same now. And we've got a marker pre-snap.
Ball start, number 54, offense, 5-yard penalty.
And that again was the bugaboo a week ago that they needed to clean up at home. And when you're playing in front of a jam-packed house like this, it can happen.
Yeah, and I just talked about him, right? He's a guy that's not a natural. He's not the starter. He's getting an opportunity because 70 needed to play better, and this is not what's going to continue to get you those opportunities because now you're being pushed back on a second down.
It was a very slight move, but you're going to get caught, particularly at that size, at left tackle. 2nd and a long 12. Out of the shotgun, Hoover. Flushed, down he goes. The backside pressure all over him. Prince Dorba, 32, the redshirt senior out of Dallas.
They've been waiting for Prince Dorber to really make a play. He's coming to the left right there. And this is just relentless effort, relentless, and continues to chase Josh Hoover down from behind.
Had a long cup of coffee with the Texas Longhorns for a couple of years. Didn't have a tackle a week ago, but heard from there.
How about how this defense has come alive? They pushed TCU back in a third and extra long here.
Arizona State got a timeout. Look at this game of runs, huh? 17 points to open the game. The big break really coming after the fourth down stop, and then they were stopped by the Arizona State defense, and it seems that the worm sort of turned after that stop.
I feel like there's someone around this stadium playing, anything you can do, I can do better.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We've seen TCU have some success on these third and long situations, but this is a little bit longer. I would expect screen draw opportunity here.
You know, you could have been on the stage. You really could have been on the stage. 3rd and 21. Hoover on the check down, gets it to Payne, and Jeremy with a nice pickup gets it out to the 28-yard line. Martell Hughes with the stop. That'll give them a little better room to work with for the punt after the 14-yard pickup. And another timeout is taken by Arizona State. They want the ball. They want an opportunity to either tie it, maybe take the lead before we get to the intermission. After really dominating the first quarter and I'd say the first 5 minutes of the second quarter, Arizona State has turned the tables on Sonny Dykes' team.
Tim, you got to remember, they've been down 17 before. So when you look on their sideline, you can see not a single person flinch, especially their quarterback and their head coach. They know that they have the capability of coming back. Now, do you want to live in that? Do you always want to do that and go down 17 and have to battle back? No. However, it is good that they have that previous experience.
Well, before he got on the plane coming back from Waco, and by the way, the plane didn't take off until about 3 in the morning because of some weather back here. But he said, is this the way it's going to be every week?
Yeah, and it looks like it, huh?
It looks like it will be, Kenny Dillingham. And the left-footed punter gets a boomer off. And they're going to wave off as it's high and short. The wind affecting that without a doubt. That looked like a can of corn in left center field for a while. At first, I thought it was going to go. Speaking of a can of corn, baseball night in America featuring a pair of games. Playoff implications tomorrow. Reds look to keep their postseason hopes alive against the newly crowned Central champion Brujas, or the Guardians fight for positioning against the Texas Rangers. Check local listings for the game in your area only on Fox. What a fun weekend, huh? Great college football and Major League Baseball that matters, setting up the playoffs, and the perfect time to have a wild Friday night game like this. There you see the numbers on Levitt. Plenty of time, over the middle, and caught. Why not? Derek Eusebio, the kid out of Plano, Texas, just gets open all the time. And his dad, who manages a Shipley's in Dallas, has got to be happy. Get some hot donuts to that kid. There's an out pattern to Mateo. They finally got number 7, the football. That's his first catch of the night. By this time a week ago in Waco, he had 6 catches. 12 yards on that gain, and they're in great shape here with 1:08 and counting left in the first half.
That catch by Eusebio 2 catches ago was the first by a receiver not named Jordan Tyson on the night.
That's right. Out of the shotgun. Underneath to Brown. He is wrapped up in a hurry, but a healthy 4-yard gain. Alarmzor. He is the green dot who gets the signals from Andy Avalos.
That's the 12th touch for Raleek Brown. Last week he had 24. They said that's far too many.
Look at this. The ball came out late. He hit the deck, and I believe that's going to be ruled a fumble in TCU football. It is. He knows it too. Jamel Johnson is on top of it, and it looked like Zach Chapman, number 0, the defensive end, popped this one free.
The one thing you want to always see, what about the ball security? You can see one hand on the ball through traffic. You don't want to do it. That ball is clearly out. What an outstanding job. I talked about Devin Deal and his relentless.
Might have been Deal rather than Chapman that got it out of there. You're right.
Yes, number 11 in white, Devin Deal, relentless effort, and that's a result of his relentless effort, continuing to chase and get that football out.
Chapman was reaching for it as well, but it was Deal's arm that got in there.
And it really does help that he has a great first name.
Yeah, I think they said the call on the field was knee down, but they're going to take a look at this.
Get off the 0-2-0 a minute.
I think it's very clear. This should be quick. That ball is out. But we've seen crazier things happen. Let's continue to take a look. You can see Devin Deal coming from the other side of the field, coming in late. It's always the guy you don't see.
Of the runner down.
No, it's not even close.
Yeah.
This will be one of those. It should be one of those expedited, quick reviews, and TCU's offense will be on the field. And I have no idea why he's running to go look. He's going to go look in this thing. This shouldn't happen. It's very clear upstairs. They should say, "Hey, it's clearly a fumble. Move forward." And Mike's not going to be happy. I'm just telling you. Mike is not going to be happy. Mike, go ahead. Let him have it.
Well, what really didn't look good is you had two officials signaling different things. You had one official that actually signaled that he was down, gave that down by ruling, and then you had the second official that was actually ruling it as a fumble and a recovery. So I'm like you, if we can expedite, but some people don't like to expedite inside of 2 minutes. That's the key. Expediting the ruling is good outside of 2 minutes, but inside you could have ramifications like 10-second subtractions and those types of things. But this is a fumble. This is a clear recovery.
And there was a day and time, and you know this, Mike, when we would see that and we knew it wasn't reviewable and we knew down by contact, we would see. How many times did we see that? Thank goodness for replay, because those were travesties many times over whenever I'd see that when calling a game.
All right, now, Mike, he's been in there way too long, huh?
I don't make me nervous now. Come on, please, don't make me any more nervous.
It seems like it's very clear to us and everybody watching at home, I'm sure. Even Sun Devil fans are looking like, okay, that's a fumble. Let's move on with the game.
Yeah.
But they're still taking a look.
Well, big picture, okay? There's no reason with all of the tools that we have today, all right, that someone in a position, we got a lot of people wearing headsets, okay? Someone should be able to say, hey, it's good. That thing is a fumble. Let's move on with it.
When I first started, if you remember, I started to say, this is going to be, I said, well, no, this should be an expedited review. And that's why I prefaced that by saying, you know, because look where we are now.
Yeah, one of the big pictures of the game is just that. We don't need to slow this great game of college football down.
After review, it is a fumble and recovered by the defense at the 25-yard line. It's first down for TCU. Arizona State will not be charged with timeout and will have one remaining.
That's TCU's fifth sack. I think what happens in a lot of ways is the officials, whether it's replay or the White Hats, get caught up in protocol. And no one wants to upset the protocol. So we have to go through this, and people at home are unnerved. We sound like we're complaining and whining, and I don't like that either, but it's true. That's
Tim.
That's what's going on.
You're not a whiner, are you?
Who, me? Look at those drives tonight. Can they reestablish themselves, and will they go for the jugular here? You can bet Kendall Browns is going to keep the pedal to the metal. Payne on a check down. Not much on first down, though. So sometimes when you don't get that yardage on first down, you might slow things down just a bit. Justin Watsey, 95, with the tackle.
Number 70, Ryan Hughes, back in the football game after 54. Quinn Harris had the false start penalty to put them back.
Rush off the edge. Hoover, markers down, throwing an area where holding would be the call. Dwyer makes the catch, but the flag is in the backfield, and it should be holding.
Ben Taylor Whitfield, I think number 56, the right tackle, kind of got beat around the edge, and he had to hold on to make sure that his quarterback's not hitting the back.
Holding, number 56. Offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
And Ben Taylor Whitfield
the game clock will start on my ready to play.
Ben Taylor Whitfield's been a guy who's been really good at that right tackle position. Very solid, strong hands, but on this play to the right of your screen, you're going to see he gets beat His hands are beat down, and now he's got to wrap his arms around and pull him to the ground so he can't get to Hoover.
He didn't want Dorba to get another sack. Prince Dorba had a quick step on him. 2nd and 19. And time winding down. Looks like we may have a late timeout. Yeah.
At 3 seconds, Arizona State has called their third final charge timeout.
3 seconds left. They've called a timeout. My guess is they're thinking about punt block, possibly.
No, it's second,
second down.
Yeah.
So what are you calling it for?
I think he did say my bad. I think he kind of got away from, he's high strung, right? Everything's moving fast. He's like, wait a minute. Now, let's see.
Oh, no.
He's like, what is it? Can we get the ball back? Oh, my bad. So me. My fault.
He kind of got ahead of himself just like I did.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. Sometimes it happens when you got passion for what you're doing, and we know Kenny Dillingham has passion for what he's doing.
That he does. He is a breath of fresh air. Think about the stops that he made in his journey to become a head coach. And when it all began at age 17, it's still very early in his journey. Stopped at places like Memphis with Norvell, at Auburn, Florida State, and Oregon with Dan Lanning before coming here. And he's turned this place into a destination job. We've come to the end of the first half. 17-14 our score at the break. And we're going to get out to our Los Angeles studios. Mike Hill, Coach Pete, Bruce Feldman. Coach Pete, I know you're saying it. How do you do?
We doing good, Timmy B.
Yeah, that's right. We got a good ball game going on. Big 12 action out there in Tempe. Welcome to Fox College Football halftime show sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. That's Coach Chris Peterson, Bruce Feldman, Mike Hill hanging out with you. It looked like Arizona State was being left for dead, going down 17-0 early in this game. But then late in that second quarter, they began to levitate, so to speak. As we take a look at the halftime highlights sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. The star quarterback getting the job done.
Yeah, they were. TCU's defense, which just had Arizona State on their heels for a quarter and a half, and then they hit the explosive to Jordan Tyson. And if I'm Marcus Arroyo, the offensive coordinator, I am in there saying, how do we get him the ball more? Every time Jordan Tyson touches the ball, it looks like something really good's going to happen. The second thing is, get Sam Leavitt out of the pocket. Let him run around. That's when he's at his best. And then he feels comfortable staying in the pocket. But if you're just going to keep him in there and contain him, that's not his game. Mm-hmm. If they can do those two things, I kind of like where Arizona State's heading.
This is such a good quarterback battle. Yeah. I think you got Leavitt, who's led them back from deep holes. Remember, he led them back when they were at Mississippi State on the road. Obviously led them back against Texas. They were down by like 18 in the playoff. But Josh Hoover, so poised, so accurate. He leads the country in third down passing by a lot. He is really, really efficient. We see this out of the gate. 3 third and longs he converts. Gets the momentum going. TCU, I think, again, I think he gets overshadowed by all these other quarterbacks in the Big 12. He doesn't get enough credit. Excited to see what we get in the second half because, again, 2 quarterbacks do it differently. I think they both operate really well, though.
Keep winning. He's the nation's leading passer right now. Second half coming up momentarily. Good game in the Big 12 there. Meanwhile, USC putting up over 50 points a game and getting set to take on the Illinois team that gave up 63 last week. So how can the wounded Illini slow down the Trojans? We'll head out to Champaign to find out next. And Florida State has a huge one against Miami next week, but tonight the Noles are getting all they can handle from Virginia. An overtime thriller coming up.
Welcome back to the Fox College Football Friday Halftime Show. Sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Hey, don't forget tomorrow, big noon kickoff live from Champaign. 23rd ranked Illinois trying to bounce back, battling number 21 USC in that high-powered offense. Rob Stone, the big noon kickoff crew, have more.
Mike, thank you. Beautiful late September Friday here in Champaign, Illinois, as we get set for the Big Ten ranked showdown between number 21 USC and 23rd ranked Illinois. Rob, Brady, Mark, Matt, and Coach back here with you. Homecoming Saturday tomorrow at Illinois, and the Illini happy to be back home after what happened in Bloomington last week, a 63-10 loss. Coach, we saw Coach Bielema last night. His main priority right now is making sure this one-game skid doesn't become a 2-game loss. How does he go about it?
Absolutely. Whenever I had a big win or a big loss, my mentor, Lou Holtz, would call me like clockwork every Sunday. And he would remind me how to handle a big win and a big loss. A big win, Brady, you go after your team, you go after your staff because they believe in you. That's the time to get better. After big loss, he would always say, be careful. Why? The staff is fragile. More importantly, the players are very fragile. So own it as a coach and then go about fixing it. You don't dive into them then. Coach Bielema last night, I didn't even bring it up. He said exactly that. He said, I owned it. We got our butts kicked. Let's fix the issues. But in the media, he said that as well. I own it. He says his team's in a really good mindset to get back on the field.
Well, I think something they have to fix is the rush defense. They gave up over 300 yards last week to Indiana. And now they have this kind of resurgent USC rushing attack, which I love. And Lincoln Riley has committed to the run. It's a big part of why they're playing well. Waymon Jordan, guys, the #1 JUCO running back in the portal this year, comes to USC. Mark, this guy's an absolute stud. This is the guard tackle pull up the middle. He gets the tough yards. He's not the biggest back. The thing I love about him the most is the explosion. It's always one cut and through the hole. He's a home run hitter in the open field, almost averaging 8 yards per carry. And then we know Lincoln Riley loves the screen game. Get him out in the open field and go make a play. He's a budding star. He's not yet a household name. I think he will be. Brady, too. But also, this is complimenting Jaden Mayava, who's having a great year, and those receivers.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about a Southern Cal team, a team coached by Lincoln Riley, and not talk about their quarterback, Jaden Mayava. He's been a big piece of all this. Second year of the system, he looks phenomenal. He's got a lot of help, though, too. Mekhi Lemon might be one of the best wide receivers in college football, and you know Lincoln Riley, he's going to find ways of isolating him in one-on-one matchups versus a safety or whoever they feel is a weakness. And mind you, there's Jacoby Lane as well, who's a big play wide receiver on the outside. We don't know if he's going to be back for this game. If he is, though, that's dangerous. The problem for Illinois is not only they give up some big plays in the passing game to Indiana last week, they're banged up in their secondary. So they need to do all they can to limit some of those big plays in the passing game and running game.
What I've been impressed with is this USC defense. They've been tough in the trenches. They've been getting tackles for loss. They've been getting sacks. They have 16, which is the most in college football right now. They're going against the Illinois team who has allowed the most sacks in FBS. So that pass rush should be healthy tomorrow. But what I'm looking forward to number 18, Eric Gentry. He's 6'6", 230-pound linebacker. He's all over the field. He's in the backfield. He's getting sacks. He's getting tackles for loss. I can't wait to watch him tomorrow.
Brett Bielema saying the response is what's going to define us. Be very interesting to see what type of response Illinois has tomorrow against USC. And on tomorrow's Big Noon Kickoff, we'll hear from both head coaches. Matt sits down with Jaden Mayava, and Mark, you went to Tuscaloosa hanging out with Brian Williams. Should be a good show tomorrow from Champaign.
All right, fellas. Hey, Virginia once again taking number 8 Florida State to overtime. Oh, you see them storming the field. We're going to show you the overtime drama from Charlottesville next. Oh, Florida State feeling the pain. So is Arizona State early. Jeremy Payne getting into the end zone for a rushing touchdown. TCU up by 3 at the half.
Welcome back to the Fox College Football Friday Halftime Show, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Fellas, we got an upset in the top 10, number 8 Florida State. They got Miami next week taking on Virginia under a minute left. 4th and goal for Florida State down 7. Tommy Castellanos found Randy Pittman Jr. for the 11-yard score, tying the game at 35. Then Chandler Morris from Virginia, former TCU quarterback, looking for something, found the wrong guy, picked off by Jabril Rawls. We're going to overtime. In the second overtime, tied at 38, Morris is just going to do it himself. Rolling out, making things happen, finds that pylon, 2-point conversion, good. So they're up by 8, still in the second overtime. Check this out, Florida State possession, Deuce Robinson catches it, called a touchdown on the field, but they're going to review it, and what happened here, Coach?
He bobbled it for 9 yards and somehow could not secure it. No catch.
So the call was overturned. So it came down to this 4th down for Florida State now. Castellanos, under pressure, just has to throw it up. And Jason Prevard comes down with it. Virginia, a team that was kind of terrible a couple of years ago, pulling off the top 10 upset at home, 46-38. First of all, they go to 4-1 on the season. Let's give credit to Virginia for getting that win. They're a better team than they were in the past. Florida State, was this a case of them looking ahead to Miami?
First of all, let's just talk about storming the field. If you're going to storm it like that. They were not messing around.
They were ready.
They were ready to have some fun. So that's awesome. But yeah, you know, this is the beauty of college football. And you're talking about these 18 to 22, 23-year-old kids. And, you know, we always had this sign in our locker room. And we meant it. Respect all, fear none. And first, respect all, because if you take your eye off the prize and you're looking to the next opponent, or you don't truly give these guys credit, you look at tape when they're not playing their best, you are going to get beat. And credit to Tony Elliott, what he's building there for Virginia. They came out and controlled the game right from the start and then kind of woke Florida State up. They came back, but they hung in there, and that is one heck of a momentum win for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You have a guy who came into the year on the hot seat. Last year was his best year, only won 5 games. Haven't been bowl eligible in the first 3. Now they're 4-1. This is a really good win. The other guy I really feel great for is Chandler Morris. You mentioned he actually started out his career at OU like 5 years ago. OU, then TCU for 3 years. Then he was at North Texas in between, got to Virginia. He and Tony Elliott, you know, he's a coach's kid. Chad Morris's son goes way back with Tony Elliott from the Clemson days. 5 total touchdowns. I know there were some turnovers, but you saw a very, very resilient team tonight.
Yeah.
You got to feel good for them.
You really do. And, you know, what I think is this was just a heck of a game. Like, so you don't want to poo-poo, you know, Florida State so much. I mean, you want to give these guys credit because Chandler Morris played really competitive.
And they have a high-scoring offense at Virginia, too.
They do.
Yeah, really.
And scrappy, but he still threw 3 interceptions tonight. So it wasn't like Virginia came out and just played flawless and lights out. This was super competitive. And, you know, they looked equally as good as Florida State. And that's the beauty of this game we love.
He also got hurt. He got banged up. He, you know, hit his thumb on one of his O-lineman's helmets, you know, so he was like hobbled, and they all battled through. It was an awesome night for UVA.
And Florida State will be back. I mean, they got a big win already against Alabama this season, and then they can bounce back next week by getting a big win against Miami, who should still be a top 5 team. We shall see. Meanwhile, second half coming up between Arizona State, TCU. Jordan Tyson getting into the end zone. I feel like Mike Tyson. You got Jordan and Tyson, 2 of the best Mikes of all time.
And they need to keep throwing it to him.
He's pretty good.
We had some boom shakalaka going on in half number 1. You look at our halftime report card. It's sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns. And there are the numbers. And you know what? We began this broadcast, Devin Gardner, saying...
With some boom shakalaka.
Boom, yeah, with that too. Hoover is maybe the best quarterback you've never heard of. Oh, by the way, the Big 12 Player of the Year, Levitt, he's really good too.
Oh, yeah.
Quarter 1, Hoover. Quarter 2, Levitt.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at what Hoover was able to do. Just great quarterback play, dropping back, going through his reads, and then the arm talent to navigate throws right to the hands of his wide receivers. He was special. And like you said, the first quarter was all him. And then Sam Levitt says, hold my iced tea. I got something for you in this second quarter. He was outstanding. 8 of 9, 115 yards, a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and that spinneroonie right there. I mean, he was special, and I think it's safe to say we've got ourselves a good one.
I believe we do. I absolutely believe we do. TCU will get the ball to open the second half. And trust me, an extra possession with the way these two like to play means everything. And those missed opportunities when just outside the red zone or in the red zone will make you pay at the end of the game. Oh, look at that, a direct kick. They were looking for a little ricochet off Trent Battle, and Battle was up to the challenge. Hands of Velcro. Check this one out, 98.
Yeah, this is a difficult play to make.
Yeah.
I mean, this is fire. It reminds me of Waterboy, right? He fires it right at me. He sticks it. I mean, I'm sure that that's not exactly how they planned it.
Let's go down to Josh Sims. Josh?
Well, Sonny Dykes told me he was happy with the start, jumping out to that 7-0 lead, 17-0 lead, that is. But after that, too many mistakes, too many penalties, said they need to clean that up. And on offense for them, he said we need to play cleaner football if we want to come away with a win in this game.
Begin with 5 wides, an empty backfield, and Hoover with a quick slant to Manjack. And Joseph gets out for 6 yards on first down. Miles Reiser with yet another stop.
And another way for them to play better here in the third is on first down production. Before that play, they were 2 of 14. And when I say first down production, it's the ability to get 4 more yards and put you in front of the chains. They play from behind the chains far too much in the first half. They got to fix that, and that's a good step in the right direction.
After the mark, they give him 5, so second down and 5. That's a well-conceived play to Rogers, and it's good for a first down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. When when you make a decision to have that kind of kick, as Arizona State did, you're thinking what? An extra possession. You're trying to steal an extra possession. And it didn't work out, which gives TCU half the field to work with.
Yeah, you got to get a lot of credit to that special teams unit, the discipline.
Hoover. Manjack. He is a man.
Jack.
And he takes it down, Jack, inside the 10 to about the 7.
I mean, no gloves, man. This is a throwback player. Another great throw by Hoover. He's picking up where he left off in that first quarter, and he goes all hands and snatches it out of there and then sticks to landing.
Payne, nothing doing. Great penetration from Kendrick Breedlove, the nickelback, senior out of Nashville, Tennessee. Well-traveled player. Began at Ole Miss, then to Colorado, over to Purdue, now at ASU. Second and goal from the 7.
Remember, down here in the red zone, the field shrinks. The field shrinks, so there's just not a lot of space. You got to be very precise with your throws, and we know that Josh Hoover has shown the propensity to be able to be precise. A guy we haven't called his name, number 1.
Look out, we may now. Eric McAllister, who a lot like when you think about it, Jordan Tyson is the most productive of the receivers for Hoover, but he's been blanketed tonight by this Arizona State defense that's been so cognizant of him.
Yeah, and a lot of it, too, has been the other guys. The other guys have made plays, so they haven't really needed to get the ball to Eric McAllister, but down here in the red zone, a person of his size and his stature, it eats up a lot of that space that you don't have.
3 touchdowns last week. It could have been a 4th. Boy, that's a tough one to make, and it's intercepted. Dwyer had it, and it's picked off. The ball bounced up, and Adrian Wilson got it. Snared it right out of the air. You talk about big plays. Jordan Dwyer, who always catches the ball in traffic, generally always from a physical standpoint makes the play, and Wilson gets the pilfer.
What did I tell you, Tim? There's just not a lot of space, so tips and overthrows, tips and overthrows. You tip the ball, it's going to be picked, and Wilson comes up with a huge play in the red zone.
17-14. Let's go back to that interception, and there's always risk reward in this kind of pattern, right?
Yeah, and when you're a quarterback, you want to be an anticipatory thrower, where here's a case where it kind of backfires, right? That ball is halfway there, but there are no eyes from the wide receiver just yet. He's still trying to fight and win, and then it hits him right in the chest. Right in the chest, and then this is just a hustle play by Wilson to get over and make the play.
Raleigh Brown cracks over the right side. He's going to get a first down. Since it was 17-0, TCU has had 4 possessions and only 31 yards. So I'd say Arizona State's defense has rebounded pretty well from their first quarter woes. Nice pickup on first down on the ground, a gain of 11.
I guess that's the remedy for having third down woes. You just pick up a first down on first down.
On first down. I'm impressed with Raleigh Brown. He's going to carry more than 14 times.
Oh, yeah.
Gets ahead for a couple there before being pushed back. Let's go down to Josh Sims.
Well, guys, I can tell you what Kenny Dillingham told me at halftime. He was letting me know that he wasn't happy with the way the team started the game, but happy with the way they responded. Things changed when they started to get ahead of the sticks on offense, and that led to those explosive plays. He said in the second half, we need to find a way to run the ball, not just talking about Sam Levitt, and we need to even up the turnover battle, which they've already done, guys.
Yeah, you cannot get away with winning games being +3 in turnovers as they were against Baylor. He knows that as well as any. Malik Brown again gets it to the just shy of the 25-yard line. Still third down and negotiable. We'll give him 2 on the play. So third down and a long 5 coming up.
Right. Remember we talked to the coaches today. They said, Malik Brown, we want to be 14 to 15 carries or touches. We don't want to get him any more than that. Well, guess what? It's players, not plays. And he's got 15 touches right now, and I'm just telling you he's going to touch the ball a lot more here tonight.
Let's see what Marcus Arroyo dials up. You just saw him with the coach's box. Oh, that's a nice curl to McLean. Malik McLean at long last with a catch past the 35-38. This is the guy is listed as their number 2 receiver. Finally productive here.
Yep, he just comes across the formation and sits right in the open cavity of the zone. And that zone is vacated because they're sending a safety over the top of Jordan Tyson, right? So when he vacates that area, it opens up for McLean to sit there nice and big, show the quarterback your numbers, and then knife the defense.
Just his 5th catch of the season, but that was a big one. He gets 15 out of it and a first down. Sun Devils looking to get their first lead, and here goes a long ball. Markers down, pass is caught. Jaron Hamilton all the way down to the 16-yard line. The redshirt sophomore from Gainesville, Florida.
I believe the flag is going to be a hold on the secondary, and what a catch, because this is the player that's being hailed.
44 yards on the connection.
The ability to fight through and continue to make your way and attack the football.
Holding, number 21, defense. That penalty is declined. It's on the play of a completed pass, first down.
Yeah, Bud Clark knew he was beaten, so he was holding.
Just a deep over, chasing the other side of the field. It's one of the most difficult routes to deal with. A little tug, he fights through, and what a grab.
You know, he wasn't beaten by a lot. I mean, Bud had a chance of knocking that one free. Brown makes it to the corner. And could not set the edge here. Clark was beaten, but you know what? He was pretty close. This is outstanding single coverage when you think about it.
I mean, when you talk about a hands catch, he caught the ball, and you can see Bud Clark, tight coverage, trying to rake that ball out as he catches it. Great, strong hands by Jaron Hamilton.
Clark's such a tough kid out of Alexandria Senior High School. The center of the state of Louisiana, sportsman's paradise. I know his mom, Katoya, is watching at home. This pass is up in the air and almost caught and almost picked. Tyson had it with one hand, tried to bring it in, and then the defender actually had a chance at it. Vernon Glover, 26, was in a position to almost come away with an INT.
Young wide receivers at home, don't copy this. As talented as he is, he can make that play. You want to go up with 2 hands and try to snatch that out of the air. The highlight would be great. The touchdown is better. However, that ball is pretty high.
Yeah.
That ball is pretty high. If you have a chance to get 2, you do that, but that's a play that he's capable of making.
Here he goes. Your Big 12 Player of the Year a season ago, using his legs for the first down. Devin Deal with the touchdown-saving tackle. First and goal from the 4.
I mean, it's so repetitive, right? We talk about how dangerous he is, and you think TCU knows that, but you just can't deal with it. It's so difficult. That was what I said at the top. They have to have an answer for what he does when the play breaks down.
Levitt, sweep time, Eusebio. And give credit to Channing Kennedy, number 7. Channing Canada, the senior out of Butte, Louisiana, makes the play.
And you don't usually see a corner do a nice job of setting the edge, but how about Canada right here? He's going to be outside arm free, moving with the play, making sure he's in perfect position to be the edge setter, run that alley, and make the play on Eusebio. These defensive backs, especially the corners, they go hit the big sled in practice because they know they need to be physical in the run game.
Second and goal. Brown. Jamel Johnson covered him up. Yards really difficult to come by when you go into the meat of that defensive front. Oyewole, Deal, Denba, Devin Deal. And then that linebacking core behind you. So good.
Yeah, the big triplets up front, just disengaging in position, and then those linebackers flow quickly and they get to the runner.
3rd and goal. That's Eusebio moving into the slot. Levitt looking to try to do it on his own, nothing doing. And they're going to have to send out Gomez to try to tie this thing up. Kylan Jackson, number 19, had a little help too.
What an electrifying not conversion, right?
Yep.
Right, he's moving around, and he's a highlight play waiting to happen, moving around. He jumps up, nothing there, protect the ball, goes down, and he's got an opportunity because his coaches trust him to go for it on 4th down. Players, not plays. Number 10 in black.
I'm a little shocked they're not taking the points here. Brown is the setback. 4th down. Now they're going to make them wait. I think you got to take the points here, don't you?
And that would be the thing you want to do. But
yeah,
I'll say this in defense of what the decision looks like is going to be. He is playing lights out right now.
He is.
And it feels like he's so dangerous. And I think they'll rethink it and maybe take the points like you said. However, if they were to try to go for it, he is playing so good. I would not be upset if they gave him a shot to put that ball in the end zone. However, you can see that he's on the sideline, helmet off. They're going to take the points like Tim Brando suggested.
Well, and they took a delay of game 2 to give Gomez a better angle for the field goal try.
I'm not a kicker, so I never understood how it's easier from further back, but,
Yep. Well, when you're a left-footed kicker and you've got a left to right angle from this hash, I get it. He needed it too. You don't want to be that close to the ball. You don't want to be that close. I mean, that's a tough kick for a left-footed kicker.
Who knew you were a kicking expert?
I'm not a kicking expert, but you know what? I am a left-hander, and we are different, okay? We are different left-handers in sports. Fox College Football is sponsored by Panera. Tim Brando, Devin Gardner, Josh Sims on a very special Friday night. What's the word in the Tempe area? Well, they've come back to tie the game after being down by 17. And Sam Levitt motored his team down there. And they managed to kick the 3 to climb back into it. They did the same thing, you might recall, against Mississippi State, only to give up a big play late and lose. That ball was touched by TCU. It's a live ball, but it does go out of bounds. A flag comes down, but I'm not so sure that the officials know the ball was touched, but it was. If you're thinking that the kicker took it out of bounds and that's a flag, forget it. The ball was touched by TCU.
Ruling on the field is there was no touch by the receiving team to kick off out of bounds. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line. 1st down, TCU.
Oh, but there was a touch.
Taking a look here.
I thought that was touched.
There's no touch.
Oh, yes,
no
it was.
Touch. No,
yes,
it wasn't, Tim.
It was.
Tim,
yes,
we're going to argue with this one. That wasn't
sorry.
touched.
That was a touch.
Here we go, Jolly. Run it back.
I'm telling you, rotation on the ball changed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. They give him the 35, but.
Are you conceding?
No. No. This is one time when you ought to stop it. Look at it.
Yeah, they don't need to, Tim.
Well, no, they need to. Versus what they did take a look at the end of the first half. You got to be kidding me. What's replay for? Hoover. Pass is caught past the 45 to the 46. Jordan Dwyer with an 11-yard gain. I'm willing to move on, partner, but the rotation on that football changed.
Hey, Tim, I'm just telling you, you better move on with this one.
Well, I'm not going to move on without saying they should have looked at it.
No chance.
Trent Battle is in the backfield. I say what I see. I was taught that way. Pass incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Jordan Dwyer, who is just all over the place.
I want to thank Hoover. I want to thank Hoover for that incomplete pass so you can see that it is clearly not touched. Clearly.
No. The third finger got it as the ball went by. And you don't want me to tell you what the third finger illustrates, but again, I'll let it go. 2nd and 10. Nice little curl to Joseph Manjack. And he's going to be stopped at the 49-yard line. Gain of 5. Is the judge in position there?
Yeah,
Mike
the
Pereira?
judge is in position in voice only because he doesn't want to make an on-air appearance here because he loves you, Tim, but he's not going with you on this one.
Okay. All right.
It missed the fingertips. It actually just barely missed the fingertips.
I'll take my beating.
0 for 2. Here we go. 3rd down.
Well, at least we can now move on. They're 3 out of 8 on thirds. Hoover's pass again, that curl pattern to Manjack. He's so sure-handed.
Yeah.
He's just a chain-moving receiver. Gain of 7, 1st down.
I mean, he's just in position, knows exactly where he wants to get to, gets just enough for the 1st down, and that ball is low and away from the defender. You can see the defender driving over the top. Number 18, Martell Hughes, perfectly placed throw for a 1st down.
Keep an eye on Chase Curtis, the tight end. He made a great block earlier tonight. He's also a good receiver. And they're looking his way now. Hello. Every now and then you can see they put him in the slot. He's a guy that can really block. He's the perfect multifaceted tight end.
And you're exactly right, because Arizona State has only seen him block. He goes and he starts to kind of block, and then the reason he's so open is because he fakes that block. We call it a bluff, and he goes up the sideline. Nice throw by Hoover.
He's just rifling it here. Look at that. Manjack. Down to the 1, a 20-yard gain. Rouser the stop. Back and forth we go.
This Joseph Manjack is really impressive. Watch him get vertical and then get into the crease of the defense and then snatch it out of the air with those strong hands.
Battle. Trent Battle. Boy, Hoover thought he got in. Hoover thought he stretched and got through. Thought he put the ball forward.
And he also, Trent Battle, he looks very confused. He's like, how is this not a touchdown?
Yeah. Hoover was absolutely apoplectic. Think he had gotten in.
Yeah, but he puts it really, really close.
Very
inches
close.
Away from the end zone.
Little double power eye look with motion.
Tush push.
Hoover, touchdown. That's an authoritative return to sender by the Horned Frogs. Right after Arizona State just ran it right down their throats, only to get stopped in the red zone and have to settle for 3.
There's an art to the quarterback sneak. You got to find that crease, find the bubble. He finds it, and he gets some assistance from his tight end, number 81, Chase Curtis.
I'd say Chase Curtis has been pretty effective tonight.
On this drive for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. 65 yards on 8 plays. 2:58 off the clock. And the Horned Frogs assert themselves again and take the lead. Well, looks like we've got some pre-snap movement. False start. And we got a conversation going on with Sonny Dykes. What about? I'm not certain. But it's clear that Michael Vandeveld is waiting for his side judge to finish up, or the head linesman to talk about it.
Offside, number 0. Defense, penalties decline.
Oh.
Replay the try.
So they don't want to back up.
No, they don't want to back up.
Right? So
right. Yeah,
you know, you're the kicking expert. So let me know why. So why do they want to back up, but they don't, you know?
I think we could have another offsides.
Yeah, he got the
definitely
jump.
could. That was Bimage that got a head start. Or in track, we'd call that a Pele, right? Just out of the blocks.
0. That penalties decline. Extra point. It's good.
So,
Timeout.
24-17, and the man Jack did it again, right?
I mean, he just continues to make play after play. He's the MVP of that drive. And then Josh Hoover uses his legs with the help of Curtis to finish it off.
Hoover with his first rushing touchdown of the year. Makes it a TCU lead yet again as they answer the Arizona State drive. Jaron Hamilton, who had such a remarkable catch.
Oh, yeah.
The last time ASU had the ball, is back deep awaiting the kick.
How about these quarterbacks, Tim? We talked it, and we built it up. We said this conference has top to bottom probably the best conference for quarterbacks. And I gave my top 5, and both these quarterbacks continue to rise to the occasion.
No doubt about it. And a marker down as that one went out of bounds before. And this one's an easy one. I didn't see it touched.
Kickoff out of bounds.
Very good.
Ball placed at the 35-yard line, first down.
Time for our good hands moment. It's sponsored by Allstate, and we were just talking about Mr. Hamilton. How about this? 20 years of Allstate Good Hands Nets program, and Jaron Hamilton made a marvelous catch after being interfered with by Bud Clark.
That is just poetry in motion. You can't cover it any better there at the end, and he finds a way with those vice grips that he calls hands.
He actually was called for holding prior to making that catch. He fought him off, and trust me, that's not an easy thing to do, fighting off number 21 from TCU. First down, Sam Levitt. How many times are we going to say this in the remainder of this half? You got to answer your opposing quarterback, and we've got another flag.
Substitution, 12 players in formation. Offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
No, that's not supposed to happen.
Can't do it. You can't do it. You're playing so well. You can't just those unforced errors, putting yourself behind the chains. And Marcus Arroyo, the offensive coordinator for Arizona State, is furious.
Get him off the field. Get him off the field. And Hines Ward doing the same.
One of the toughest wide receivers in the history of the NFL. You don't want to be on his bad side.
First down 15 for Arizona State. Raleek Brown remains the setback. He's gotten the lion's share of totes again tonight. Levitt underneath on the check down to Brown. He got away from the first tackler. And he set sail for a quality gain. He was in trouble when he first received it, but he managed to get enough yardage to set up a 2nd and 11. Should have lost about 6 on that play, and he wound up gaining 4.
He does a really nice job of getting back almost to the line of scrimmage and make this a lot more manageable.
Brown. I did an interesting thing there with Mateer. Caleb Elarmzar with the stop. We talk about Mateer's value. He clears out to make room for that little swing pass. When you watch him, he got that space because of number 7.
Take a look how far Elarmzar comes from to make this play. On the other side, he has the back end man-to-man, and he grabs that right foot and gets him to the ground.
5 of 10 on 3rd down conversions, Arizona State. Here we go. Out pattern to number 7, Shimon Mateer. And he's going to be just a yard shy of a first down, so a gain of 9.
What you saw in that second quarter where you saw the Arizona State offensive explosion, as we take a look to see how close he actually was. It's a nice job by Johnson getting him out clearly before the first down. But what we saw was an explosion of being able to throw that football over the defense to Jordan Tyson. And right now what you can see for TCU is soft coverage, but they're going for it here. Ball got to stay in the hands of 10.
Yeah, number 10 still out there. And you know what? He can run for it if he can get rid of it. He did. It's caught. It's Tyson. Why are we not surprised, huh? Just when you think Levitt is in trouble, that he borrowed too much time, he finds his running mate, Jordan Tyson.
In the open, I said, you can be as right as you want to be. His ability makes you wrong, and he does it yet again. You can see the defeat in Jordan's helmet going his face straight to the ground, because how does he make these plays time and time again?
Levitt, 18 of 24 for 238. Raleek Brown, he gets ahead. A very nice first down gain. Give him 7. 2nd and 3. Caleb Elarmzor again with a stop. He and Obi Izor have been absolutely running from sideline to sideline all night trying to catch up with these secondary receivers on checkdowns. From Levitt. Raleek Brown has the edge this time for the first down. Jamel Johnson shoves him out. But here we go. They're getting close to the red zone yet again.
You said he got the edge, and he got it fairly easy. Here's the person that has to secure the edge. Well, there's no edge to secure. He's got to find somebody. He gets to the second level on Nnamdi Obiazor, and the edge has to be protected if you're TCU on defense.
He stays in there at running back. He'll carry it again. Kyson Brown, rather than Raleek Brown. Kyson Brown gets ahead. Give him a couple there. This is that 4th down conversion, and not many guys can do this.
I mean, now you can understand my frustration early in the game when he's lined up at wide receiver on a 4th down. The ball has to be in his hands. There's no questions asked. He has to touch the ball in those critical situations on 4th down, in the red zone, 3rd down. He has to be the person making the decision.
2nd down and 9. Kyson Brown remains the setback. Levitt on the out pattern to Tyson. That's like taking candy from a baby. He had some rare space that time. A little extra cushion. Took advantage of it for 11 yards and the first down.
I mean, this move off the line of scrimmage. Watch him just get rid of the defender, and that's why he's wide open. The ball is thrown a little bit late, but guess what? It doesn't matter when you create that kind of separation, and he lets them know about it.
Yeah, he and Javon McIver wolfing a little bit as we come to the end of 3. We're headed to the 4th quarter. What a compelling game. You want to step up in Texas Tech and Iowa State's realm? Winner of this game does exactly that in the most competitive conference in America, the Big 12. This is the blackout. Magnificent light show during this break as we open the 4th quarter. You look at the ball control story. Arizona State has manifest 26 minutes to the 18.5 for TCU. The Horned Frogs have been dynamic, and they lead this by 7. Sam Levitt trying to answer Josh Hoover on this drive. Oh, this is a little bootleg action. He loves this play, and he's got Harpole, the tight end. Cameron Harpole gets it down to about 2. Out of Prosper, Texas, and I have to say this was a prosperous play call.
Yeah, it's a naked bootleg, and earlier in the game you talked about his ability running left to make these throws. It's a nice job by Harpole to get a little extra after he makes the catch.
He sure did. Brown, look at that coverage by TCU. They are sideline to sideline, really good. Arizona State offensively now up to 408 total yards. Bud Clark, such a leader to go along with those linebackers. And Andy Avalos is relying on them right now.
Tim, there's no way that you should have even had to say Bud Clark's name because look where he is. There's no way he should make this play, but let's enjoy the hustle and him going and tracking this ball from the other side and finishing the play off.
Unreal. Again, bootleg action. There's a space, and now he's in trouble, in a lot of trouble. Throws it late, and it's incomplete. You know, he had an opening and did not take advantage of it. And then ultimately started running out of time.
It's like trying to catch a chicken. It's like when Rocky first started with Apollo Creed. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. I mean, it's not a touchdown. It's but still a highlight. Yeah. Allow me to have this dance. Yeah. He is putting the TCU defenders all over the ground. Yeah. And in boxing, that's a knockout. Wow.
You're greased lightning. Italian stallion. That's what you are. 3rd and goal. That's what Mick told him.
My goodness.
Oh, boy. 3rd down and goal. 5 wides, empty for Levitt. Incomplete. Looking for Eusebio. Pass a little behind him. And here we go yet again. The red zone woes creeping back up for Arizona State. Now, do you go for it or take the points? It is 4th down with the ball just outside the 3-yard line.
Some might say Devin Deal's out of his element. He's usually a rusher, but how about him in pass coverage, just barely tipping that ball, and Eusebio can't make the catch off the ricochet.
You know, this is where if you've got a 2-point play that's in your hip pocket that you love,
use it.
You call it right here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You see the stoic Marcus Arroyo looking on. He's going to put the ball in the hands of his quarterback and hope that he can make a play.
Levitt. Crossing pattern. It is incomplete. Elarmzor there to make the play. And TCU defensively does it again, denying Arizona State in the red zone. Those linebackers, in conjunction with Bud Clark as that magnificent safety, have been the difference in these situations. Oh boy, for the home team. We'll be back. Start your Saturday strong. Big noon, number 21 USC looking for a statement road win as they take on number 23, the Fighting Illini. Brett Bielema's team smarting from that shellacking in Bloomington. It'll all go down live from Champaign. Big noon kickoff beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Rob Stone and that outstanding ensemble of talent in USC, Illinois, only on Fox.
Tim, we talked in this game, and we saw it early in the first and second quarter that TCU struggled to stay on schedule, right? Not getting real productive plays on first down. Well, they've kind of remedied that here in the second half. They've done a really nice job of staying on schedule, and the idea here in the black zone is 2 first downs. Obviously, you love to go all the distance all the way down the field, but you got to get out of the shadow of your own end zone so you can flip the field with the punt.
This is where Brian Ward, the defensive coordinator, is looking for a takeaway. There's an impact play on first down, and Rouser, to no one's surprise, gets it done after initial contact had been made. It's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as this ball's handed off, a very nice job by Jeremy Payne of not being taken down right away, and then you know that somewhere lurking is going to be number 4 in black with the club on the right, Miles Rouser.
Only 12 rushing yards total for TCU. So you pretty much know it's about the passing game and dealing with Josh Hoover the rest of the way. Quick cross to DJ Rogers, and the tight end gets him a little wiggle room out to the 8-yard line, but still it's going to be 3rd down and 5 after that gain of 6. And you got to be really, really smart in this situation. Kendall Briles knows it. They've got such confidence. Sonny Dykes said he's universally loved by everyone, but I've had a lot of great keys that the team loved. I've never seen anything like Hoover. He needs Hoover to step up now. Oh, there it almost was. Miles Rouser almost had a pick 6. Just what we were talking about, looking for the turnover. That defense was. Hoover has to be breathing a sigh of relief after that.
Yeah, sigh of relief because Miles Rouser is wearing a club on his hand. If he's not, this is a pick 6 for sure. He is in that whole position underneath. No true responsibility. He's just following the eyes of the quarterback, and he is right there. If he doesn't have a club, that's a huge play.
Ethan Craw to boot it. Pressure coming. High but very short punt. Abney. It bounces for Arizona State, so they get tremendous field position. Only a 31-yard boot. And they've got a following wind and an opportunity once again to tie this game. Boy, oh boy, what a finish we're going to have. Look at this stop on 3rd down.
I'm just telling you, as a Little League player, he didn't wear a club, and he was electric with the ball in his hands. Let's see who's gone above and beyond tonight, sponsored by Jersey Mikes. Be a sub above. How about these two guys? You know all about them. Some of you, if you don't, you learned today. Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson, two of the best athletes in all of college football. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jordan Tyson is probably the best draft-eligible wide receiver in college football.
You'd get no argument from me. Some in Columbus might think differently, but I'm right there with you. We hear ad nauseum about the folks in Columbus.
See, Tim,
Jordan Tyson.
I've talked to you about listening to me. I said draft-eligible.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Well, Jolivet's in my ear sometimes. You know, he just... Yeah, I got a Buckeye fan in my ear. But the reality is, too often in today's college football, the way it's covered, you don't hear enough about enough. I am sick and tired of hearing about playoff percentages, and we're not even into October yet. Who's going to make the CFP? Enough already. Over the middle and caught. That's Mateer. He's got it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line, and he might be hurt. Let's see. Slow to get up. He got popped pretty good as he made that catch.
Yeah, he's hit low.
Sure hope he's okay.
And he's important to this offense. And when I talked to the coaching staff, I said this is the key. And on my board, I drew a key right next to his name because everything he wants to do, does not look good. Everything they want to do goes through him in the screen game, in the run game, even in the pass game. When we talked to head coach Kenny Dillingham, he said, our runs, our play action, our screens. If he's good, they're good, and it's really good to see him get up.
Yeah, and he's moving fine. Might have just been the wind knocked out of him on that hit right into the midsection. That was his third catch of the night, and you know, you think about it, that's a lot less than we saw a week ago in Baylor. I mean, he was very active in that game, but tonight, in many cases, he's been the guy that's cleared the path for either a wheel route or someone else that might be behind him.
And in the blocking game, he does a nice job doing all the little things, the dirty work.
First down with the ball at the 28. Kyson Brown. Ooh, he ran right over a defender that time. He laid a little leather himself that time against Jevin McIver, number 20.
All right, Kyson Brown, welcome to the football game. They call him SIP. Let's take a look and watch him lower his pads and try to get through. Don't you just love when you get a chance to hear those pads pop?
Absolutely. Second down and 4. Brown again. This time he's on the receiving end of that blow from Tristan Johnson, 35. Another one of those 3-star prospects that's come along very nicely as a freshman.
Yeah, a redshirt freshman that they are really high on. They love what he's been able to do. He hasn't played a ton this season, but tonight he's been in the middle making plays for this defense.
Third down and 4. Huge play for Arizona State in what must be considered a must-score drive with the kind of field position they had. And there's Tyson. He just goes out and grabs it. That ball is mine. He's got some of the toughest hands. The flag is down.
However, the ball is caught across the line of scrimmage, and they were blocking. They're going to get offensive pass interference.
Oh, boy. Now, that's a huge call.
Pass interference, number 83. Offense, 15-yard penalty.
Eusebio. Good call, partner. You were all over it. Hines Ward knows it, too.
A lot of times this play works just fine. Here's Eusebio right here, number 2 receiver from the top. And it works when you make sure that you catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage. There, he's not behind the line of scrimmage when he catches it, and it's a clear offensive pass interference and a huge, I mean, huge penalty on a third down conversion.
Without a doubt. And now you're definitely thinking 4-down territory again. They just need to get about half of it back here. Blitz coming. It's not picked up, but look out! All of that green grass for number 10. All of that green grass, and he's got about half of it. Gets it to the 26-yard line. So he's about 7 yards shy of a first down. Devin Deal runs him down. But they got to get some points here.
Tim, I'm sure there's a lot of defensive coordinators around the country watching this game, and they do not envy defensive coordinator Andy Avalos.
Oh,
I mean, this is insane. you're on pins and needles every single time. You have everybody covered. You're in position, and he finds a way to make a play. That time, they're able to get him to the ground.
Well, Gomez shanked one earlier. This is going to be a 43-yard try. From the left hash for the left-footed kicker. Oh, he missed it. Hooked it. The first one was a shank, and that one was a pull hook. So the overcompensation for a kicker, very similar to driving the ball when you're playing golf. If you hit a shank, your next one's going to be a pull hook. He missed from 46 earlier, misses from 43 here. Oh boy, the life of a kicker. Fox College Football is sponsored by Wendy's. Get Wendy's $8 JBC meal deal. Limited time only.
Tim, the turnover battle is so important.
Yep.
And right now, even though Arizona State is technically even 1-1, they're not. They're down 4. 2 missed field goals, 2 turnovers on down. Those are essentially turnovers.
Yeah, they are.
Right? And so it's just hard to win that way. And it's a lot of the same story that we saw a week ago, but they were able to eke it out and win that game in Waco.
And Gomez, of course, the Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Week. He was the hero all the way back on that long middle-of-the-night trip they took a week ago tomorrow. Hoover, nice pump fake, but trapped. Keyshawn Elliott again. Tell you, here's the thing about Arizona State. As bad as it looks statistically, this defense, when they've had to make plays, Devin, they make them.
I mean, this is so good. Watch here and watch 44 come around. Outstanding job by Keyshawn Elliott. First, he gets into the chest of the running back, and then he jumps on the foot of Hoover.
Second sack, 3.5 tackles for losses for this Arizona State defense. Battle bounces off one. Second effort gets him quite a bit of yardage. Only going to be 3 yards away from the first down. That could have been, a 2-yard gain. Now you're looking at 3rd and 3 rather than 3rd and 8.
You saw a bunch of missed tackles on that play, and those are the type of plays that when we talked to defensive coordinator Brian Ward for Arizona State, those are the plays they said they have to eliminate. He said in the last 3 games, they've shown flashes of brilliance on defense, and we've seen tonight, but late in games in the last 3 games, they've given up big plays, and they have to stop it. They got to try to find a way to get off the field here on 3rd down.
Again, they go empty. Only guy that can run is Hoover. That pass is caught. It is once again Ed Small, the young man we talked to last night. You couldn't wait to meet this kid.
Oh, yeah.
He was a top 50 prospect in baseball. The Texas Longhorns wanted him, but guess what? Nobody wanted him in football except this team, and they got him out of Austin, Texas.
His name is Ed Small, but he plays big. And I'm just going to tell you, he is Jack Bech 2.0. When we talked to Hoover, I said, how different is he from Jack Bech? Is he similar? He said, yeah, as far as the toughness, the grittiness, and being able to play, but the route running is where he separates.
Yeah.
Elite route runner, Ed Small.
Hoover, blitz coming, didn't see it. Clayton Smith, the defensive end, in this case, set up as an extra linebacker. They go 4-man front, bring a linebacker to go with it. And this was just a thing of beauty for the ASU defense.
The center, number 51, Colton Deary, he whiffs, and Hoover has no chance. A great job by him to minimize the damage. Do not make a bad play worse. Sometimes the defense wins. Now you want to try to get half of this back so you can get to a more manageable 3rd down.
They were bringing Miles Rout on a safety blitz, too. 2nd and 20 after the loss of 10. Trent Battle remains the setback. Hoover with time. Oh, that was one of those that could have been tipped, and I think was tipped by Martell Hughes, 18. And I know what you like to say about those overthrows.
Tips and overthrows, man.
And tips, what they can lead to. And we're down in 20.
We've seen Hoover over a number of times tonight navigate throws over defenders and down into the arms of his wide receiver. A really nice job that time by Hughes getting that length up in the air. 6'2", 220 pounds. He uses all of it to stop that play from happening.
Is it Ed Small time again? Hoover in trouble and sack. Prince Norba, his 2nd of the night. 3rd on this drive for the Sun Devils. Every time they've had the game on the line, the defense has answered the bell.
TCU is having real trouble on the offensive line with these twists and stunts. You're going to see everybody come here and coming way around from the other defensive end. Outstanding design and call by defensive coordinator Brian Ward.
High boot again, very short. This time it is a big-time TCU bounce. I mean, a great one inside the 30 to the 27. Well, before that drive, Arizona State had a couple of sacks. That drive they had 3. So they got 5 on the night, and they couldn't have had them at a bigger time. 24-17, 5 and change remaining. Fox College Football is sponsored by Hershey's Milk Chocolate. Have you had your Hershey's?
Have you?
You know, I actually, you really want the honest answer?
I do.
I didn't have any sugar today at all.
Are you kidding me?
I did not, no.
No.
Sugar substitute, but no sugar.
Sugar substitute?
Yeah, we'll see if we can share some sugar in the remaining 5:42 that we've got left.
No,
Malik Brown is the setback, first down. We've said this before, but Arizona State in a must-score mode, and there goes Malik Brown down the sideline. He just ran out of real estate, and there were a lot of Horned Frogs in hot pursuit. Boy, he's been something special between the 20s, hasn't he?
We've seen him capture the edge quite frequently tonight. But here he gets the football, and he is there right away on the linebacker, Obi Izor, and he's not able to get out of his stance and make the play.
And he's just been dynamite between the 20s. But in the red zone, that's a 36-yard gain. He's well over 100 for the night and well over 14 touches, too. Gets ahead for another 2. On that play, it'll be 2nd and 8.
I mean, this is the second week in a row we've had Arizona State, and the one thing that you know, there is no quit in this football team.
No.
They are going to continue to battle, and you're going to have to put them away. They're not going to put themselves away.
By the way, We Are the World mouth guards. That's the first time I've seen colorful mouth guards.
It makes no sense. He's not using either of them.
Underneath on the crossing pattern, it's Brown again. When you have moves like that,
who needs a mouth guard?
Who needs a mouth guard?
He's tired. He's going to need an ice bath.
He's gassed. And, you know, it's easy to say as we look at this play, but what's missing is Cam Skattebo inside the red zone. Okay, life was a lot easier when Cam Skattebo could tote it for you.
Hey, Tim, remember Malik Brown and 24 touches last week? We want to get him 14-15, way too many. I see your 24, and I raise you his 25th touch on the night.
Yeah, there you go. And he is breathing hard on that sideline.
Get that man some water, some electrolytes, because they're going to need him here down the stretch.
Talking with Jaron Hamilton, the wide receiver, who had a big catch earlier in the third quarter. Set up the screen game to Mateer, but it was well diagnosed by Jonathan Bax, number 10. Defensive end, peeled back into coverage and made the play. And it's a loss of a yard.
He's done a nice job of setting the edge all night. There he is right there. He sees the screen starting to develop. He sees it right now, and he reacts right there. As soon as that ball's thrown, he almost beats the ball to the catcher.
Mateer moves into the slot right. Levitt to the corner. It is Tyson, but he couldn't reel it in. Well defended. The ball hung up just a little.
Yeah, he was wide open.
Vernon Glover was able to recover because the ball hung up.
And Sam Levitt is going to look back at this play and say, I can't believe I didn't get it to him sooner. He just beats the coverage because it's a bust. He's wide open. He usually makes that catch, but nice defensive play by number 26, Vernon Glover. That's a bust on the defensive backfield, and you have to make a team like TCU pay.
How big is this third down play? Safety blitz coming, and there goes Levitt. And once again, TCU's defense rises up to stop Eusebio. Jamel Johnson, then here we go again. Another 4th down. And with this much time remaining, you got to be thinking score or bust. And once again, calling on your defense.
You know, Tim, I'm sorry, but I disagree. The reason they're going to go for this is because of the way they've kicked the football.
Well, that's true, too.
They haven't been able to have success. Obviously, a hero a week ago. This week, not so much. And though they have 3 timeouts, they feel like they don't know how many times they're going to get an opportunity in this situation to get down in the red zone.
They're rolling the dice with Levitt. Is he worthy of that? Over the middle, incomplete. Fans want a flag. There is none. Oh, it comes in late. It came in late. McLean, the intended receiver. Canada in coverage. It was a delayed flag, though. They took way too long to throw that flag.
Fans at home that are fans of TCU.
Number 7, defense, spot foul, automatic first down.
Listen, I've got no problem with the call. I do have a problem with how long it took.
Yeah, if you're a fan of TCU, you're saying, wait a minute, that's so late, but it's clearly pass interference.
Yeah.
That's a good call. You would love for it to be a little more timely, but that's a good call by the official. Clearly pass interference there.
Again, it begs the question, why wait? Just call it. Levitt swings it out to Brown. Really, Brown twirled down inside the 10 at the 8. Ilarmzor again with a stop. Pick up a 5. If the official was digging for the flag and couldn't find it, okay, I'll give him a mulligan on it, but that really took a long time.
It did.
I thought it was pass interference from the jump. 2nd down and 5. 3 wides towards the field to the wide side, and that's Mateo in motion. Again, a tough pass, well read. Tyson was absolutely blanketed that time by Austin Jordan.
It's going to be a rough in the passer.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
late hit on the quarterback.
Yeah. And now Sonny's really upset.
And it's
personal foul, roughing the passer, number 11. Defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
It's a great move by number 11, Devin Deal. He gets to the quarterback with a spin move, and the ball's clearly gone. I agree with the call.
Yeah.
It's not super aggressive. However, the ball is clearly gone. You can't hit the quarterback in his back.
Yeah, it was nothing more really than a push. In this day and age, they're going to call that. You got to be smarter than that. Again, game is on the line right here. 2 and change. This isn't to say that Arizona State wouldn't get the ball back. They could. But there's a lot at stake here, right now. And it's not too early to say how important this game is. The winner of this game is set up to become a strong contender, not just now, but for the rest of the season.
I can't imagine what the conversation's about. It may be time on the clock, or is the half the distance of the goal. Where should the ball actually be? I'm not sure, but it's really slowing the pace of the game down, and you don't want to do that with these two teams that play fast and live on momentum.
Arizona State gets an open date after this game. They play at Utah on October the 11th. Can you imagine what it would mean to get this W, be undefeated in Big 12 play, and have an extra week to prepare before going to Rice-Eccles Stadium? 1st and goal. Brown just hammered again. But Clark leading the charge yet again. Old number 21. Arizona State with 489 yards, 238 of those in this half, and only 3 second-half points. Only 3 second-half points with all those yards amassed. Coming up on the 2-minute timeout, but we're going to keep it right here. There's so much at stake. Brown remains the setback. Set up the bubble screen, and there's just nothing doing. Kamari Anderson stopped in his tracks. And again, throwing it to the wide side of the field, Devin.
Yeah.
I'm not so certain that the crowd likes it, and I certainly didn't think it was the best move.
And as we've gotten to the 2-minute timeout, Number 33, Max Carroll, does an outstanding job. 33, he's just waiting for it to happen. He's going to defeat the blocks. He doesn't even get blocked and gets to the ball carrier as soon as he catches the football.
I mean, Andy Avalos, you got to give him a lot of credit in terms of the way his defense has denied Arizona State inside the red zone in the scoring area. You could fry an egg on the head of Sonny Dykes right now. He is hot. A recap of our matchup so far. First half was all about Josh Hoover, and he got quite a lot of help from Jeremy Payne. And then the second quarter was all about, guess who? Levitt and his best friend Jordan Tyson. Then Hoover with a little tush push gets it into the end zone to take the lead, and that's where we are with 1:58 remaining in this game.
I mean, have these two quarterbacks not been as advertised?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And as much as these quarterbacks and these offenses have played well in spurts, these defenses, right? It's difficult to deal with the different multitude of skill sets all over the field.
And forget all the yards. Think about how well you've played with your back against the wall in the red zone, and both defenses have done it. Yeah. TCU's done it more in the scoring zone than Arizona State, but Arizona State's they've had their offenses back.
Yeah.
Every time there was a turnover, every time there was a loss of the football on downs, Brian Ward's defense has done the job.
This is what it should look like. Two really good football teams in a conference that's the most competitive in the country. This is exactly what you want to see from two teams that are vying a defending champion and a team that thinks that they are in position to win a championship.
And once again, a tough night for that man who was the Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Week, Jesus Gomez. He's missed two. He hopes that the next kick is for an extra point to tie the game. But for those of you on the East Coast that are up with us tonight, a lot more eyeballs available because just a little bit less of a glut of other games on. Don't let those stereotypes about the Big 12 get in your head too often, okay? They play D in this league, big time D. And this notion that this conference doesn't deserve more than one team in the playoff, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Not in late September. I'd say that more than a couple have a chance to get into the college football playoff.
Yet another third down in the red zone. As you know, number 10 has to have the football.
Play fake. Goes up in the air off a tip, and it could, oh man, Canada again all over Tyson. When you're running out of real estate, Devin, and they know where you're going, and TCU seemingly does, it's awfully difficult.
Perfect coverage, doesn't move, stays in position, and gets there just as the football is getting there to knock it away.
And whether it's Austin Jordan or Bud Clark, somebody's making a play.
On that island with Jordan Tyson, that is a tough ask, and Channing, Canada responds, another fourth down forthcoming.
Touchdown! Touchdown! Tyson! Tyson! All those misses could be forgotten if you just make one extra point. If you just make one extra point.
Fool me once, shame on you. You will not get fooled again if your number 0 in black gets vertical, boom, and a slant into the back of the end zone. Outstanding job of being nice and friendly. An easy throw for Sam Levitt. What a game.
All that chemistry that was developed a year ago. Think about this team in last year's CFP if they had him available. If he's playing against Texas, they're going to be in the semifinals of the college football playoff. And by the way, No one knew anything about them last year until they got to the college football playoff.
And then when you get to the next season, when everybody does know about you, you're the preseason player of the year, all these different things, expectations, right? How do you respond with expectation? Anybody can perform in obscurity, but when expectations are attached to your football team, how do you respond? You can see they're responding well.
And by the way, give a little credit to Arroyo. He didn't mess with anything wide on 4th and goal, right? Let your best player run his best route and find him. And Levitt knew where he was, to be sure. Things are just harder for Levitt now, but he's up to it. Without Scattaboo, it's not the same as it was a year ago. Josh Sims is downstairs. I know you're loving it as much as we are, Josh.
I can tell you one guy that's not loving it right now, that is Eric McAllister. Went for 254 yards and 3 scores last week. Not in the game, hasn't been here in the second half just because he's dealing with a lower body injury. So Hoover will not have one of his top targets as they try and drive here for the game win.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'm happy to get that information from you. But when he was in the game, they had him covered up.
Yeah.
They had him absolutely blanketed. Now, can Hoover get it done? He'd love to get back and start raising those Herefords again outside Fort Worth with a W. That pass incomplete, overshooting Joseph Manjack. If you didn't see that conversation that he had with Matt Leinart earlier in the week, it was great. I caught it on social media. Josh Hoover, is he up to the moment for Kendall Briles?
He's responded well after misses to this point in the game. Let's see if he can respond again and get them back on track ahead of the change.
All 3 timeouts available for both teams. Down he goes. Is the ball loose?
The ball's out.
Arizona State has it. It's Dorba. 32, Prince Dorba. That's grand larceny.
What a play. They have been waiting, clamoring for Prince Dorba to make a play. Watch him get there, but it's not enough to just get there. You take the football away.
And it's that same issue they had last week with SMU. Pressure off the edge against a 4-man front. That's the 6th sack of the year, 4 in the last 2 drives. Dorba has his number called by Brian Ward, and he's ecstatic.
Wow.
TCU still has the 3 timeouts. They're going to have to use them now.
What an incredible play by Dorba.
Let's see how Arizona State plays it. Malik Brown needs to stay in bounds and does. Late flag comes down. That could be a face mask. Austin Jordan didn't mean to get him by the mask, but he may have. TCU's pointing in the other direction. Maybe.
He might have got inside the shoulder pads there, too.
May have.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 1. Defense after this.
Got the horse collar on Jordan.
Yep. Looks like a face mask because of the way he fell, but that type of fall comes also when you get your hands inside the shoulder pad, just trying to make a. Well.
Boy, I don't
know if that's reviewable because that is not a horse collar. He grabs the number and the jersey and pulls him down.
Yeah, and I think Sonny's like seen enough. He will not be happy.
30 seconds in late.
Timeout taken by TCU. That is a very tough call.
Yeah, so you got 2 things working here. This could possibly be an offensive face mask where he grabs inside the face mask there, and then his hands are not inside the shoulder pad. If I'm not mistaken, you're allowed to grab the jersey on the shoulder pad and pull the jersey down. That is a tough break for the TCU Horned Frogs.
That's Ihonachor, 58, the tackle that had him by the face mask. Let's go to Mike Pereira. Mike?
I'm leaving it all to you, as the song used to go. I think Devin's got it covered completely. I mean, you've got the offensive face mask, which is tough to call, and then not really horse collar because you're not talking about in the back on the nameplate. You're talking about the side of the shoulder pad, basically on the side. And tough play to officiate, but I think you'd been better off just with an offensive face mask.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a tough break.
It is. Very tough.
It goes from backing them up 15 yards, which really helps you, to moving them closer and giving them a fresh set of downs with just 1:36 left in the game.
Well, winning on the road is tough. We know that. TCU's in the middle of having to deal with it as we speak. Brown. Tell you, the Horned Frogs defense has done the best that they possibly could, while Arizona State has just chewed up yardage in the second half.
TCU should exhaust those timeouts. They've got 2 left.
They have to. And so that's the second timeout. Clearly, you'd like to force, right? You'd love to force Gomez to have to kick a field goal. Well, tonight's reliable performer, sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability you can count on. I think Sam Levitt has earned the right to be that guy, the reliable performer tonight.
We're going to have to move him in the top 5. I mean,
yeah,
he has been incredible wearing a cape when he needs to. There was one instance early in the game where they lined him up at wide receiver, and I made it very clear. Did not like it, don't want to see it again, and we've seen nothing of the sort. He's been able to make every single play when his team needs it, whether it's 3rd down or 4th down. He's been incredible tonight.
Well, I'm curious how you think they're going to play this here. Look at that game-winning drive a week ago, game-tying touchdown pass tonight. Yeah, he's your reliable performer, all right. No doubt about that. Jet sweep action, a fake, and he hangs on to it. Levitt trying to have that sleight of hand, as he did with Eusebio in the first half of the game, that had us going in one direction while he was going in the other. And TCU takes that final timeout. So it all comes down to this. You got to get a stop. Hope that you can get some help from Gomez if he's forced to kick a field goal. And then it's going to be up to Hoover with no timeouts left to take his team down the field.
And Tim, this is not how Kenny Dillingham is built. But if it were me here on 3rd down, I know my kicker hasn't been great. I would exhaust some time, because this is a very easy kick. He can make this kick for sure.
Yeah.
I would exhaust as much time as possible, maybe milk the clock, take a little knee, allow him to kick the field goal, and I expect my defense to hold them and not allow them to go down the field.
And the thing you'd want to do is center it too. Again, reminder, he's a left-footed kicker.
Yeah, but this is what happened so far and why that's probably not a viable option. He just hasn't been on tonight. Like we talked about, a hero a week ago, tomorrow, and tonight he just hasn't had it.
Well, you can use up some time by centering the football and making sure he doesn't have to deal with a left or right angle kick.
Yeah, so that'll take about 4 or 5 seconds off the clock, and then you got the 40-second play clock. So TCU wouldn't be working with much time.
Levitt down to the 1. Late flag comes in. Late flag comes in.
They might get number 58 for a holding. Max E. Honachor.
Yeah, that's who I thought had the face mask earlier offensively that he got away with. And, yeah, that's going to back him up. That'll make things a little more interesting.
All right, so now you almost certainly want to go to that centering.
Holding.
Yes.
Number 58. Offense. Penalties decline.
Okay.
Yeah, smart move when you think about it.
Very smart move. All right, so now the clock is stopped. And what do you do here? I think you have to kick the field goal, right? You have to take the points. They are not sending their field goal unit on the field.
Not yet, they aren't. Clock stopping is the key. That's the issue.
Well, they're an inch from the goal line.
Yeah.
You have to trust Sam Levitt. Players, not plays. I will put him in a quarterback sneak situation, and I have to trust that he's going to find a way to find the crease and get in the end zone.
40 seconds. They're going to let go off. Let's see what happens here. They're going to use the clock. That's what they're going to do.
Well, the clock's not running.
They need to.
Because of the penalty, the clock's not running. I'm actually not certain what they're doing.
No, the penalty saved TCU. Yeah, the clock saved TCU 40 seconds here.
The play to start on the snap. 4th down.
Look at that added time TCU gets. If they get a stop here, oh my goodness. You talk about rolling the dice. Levitt looks to be under center. Ben Coleman is his center. And now they're going to take the timeout.
That's called their first charge timeout. 30 seconds in late.
Yeah, with that penalty, the clock was stopped. So I have no idea what's going on now. Maybe they just wanted to take a timeout and really talk through what they want to do. But me personally, I would kick the field goal. However, if I'm not going to kick the field goal and I want to try to put it in the end zone, Levitt all day. Levitt all day, and I'm not talking about Levitt in the shotgun. Levitt under center, quarterback sneak, and you have to trust that this offensive line is going to get an inch. When they were in the game against Mississippi State, though they lost, in the second half, that offensive line completely took over the game, and I trust that they can do that right here to try to get an inch. Look to the right-hand side right there. You can't fully see him, but there's the hold.
Yeah, it's an easy call.
Obi gets across, and he just grabs him around the neck.
Yeah, easy call.
And a great job by TCU to decline the penalty.
Well, either way, the Horned Frogs know they're going to get the ball back, either after a stop or after a touchdown. They don't have to go the distance. Flags down again. This could be a false start on Arizona State. A lot of times in that situation, that's what you see.
Prior to snap, false start.
Yep.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, and that does give extra room for Gomez. In a lot of ways, who knows? Who knows? Maybe he wanted a false start so he could back up his kicker. He's a left-footed kicker, and you wanted a better angle.
All 11 players didn't get set.
That's right.
Before you snap the football, and that's a penalty, obviously. And they did exactly what I thought they would do if they were going to go for it. Ball in the hands of 10. But now all the hopes lie on the left foot of Jesus Gomez.
Dillingham said last week, is this the way all of them are going to go? On the field goal try of 23 this time. Jesus Gomez. Right through. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. You've got 1:14 left. And Hoover, even without timeouts, has proven he can get his team downfield very quickly.
Absolutely. But right now, you're in those obvious, as we take a look at possibly the game-winning kick again for the second week with all the struggles he's had. But you put yourself in those obvious passing situations now, right? And we've seen late in this game, Arizona State's defense has really gotten a beat on what the offensive line is capable of for TCU, and they've gotten after the quarterback. This is not a position you truly want to be in if you're TCU.
All things considered, if you want an offense that's capable of getting that kind of yardage without any timeouts and a quarterback to make a statement tonight, not only in the Big 12 but around the country, Josh Hoover is that guy for Sonny Dykes. That 3rd down penalty by Arizona State was huge. It stopped the clock, gave them 40 extra seconds. Denman, John Denman, stopped way back at the 13. Should have let that one go. That should have been a touchback and bring it out about 12 to 13 more yards.
Yeah, I think that was a bad decision. Just wasting some of the time that you have.
Look away, Arizona State fans. You've been here before. Remember this? Uh-oh.
Not something you want to see if you're an Arizona State fan watching this football game, but we got to tell the story.
Yeah,
it's happened before. You've been here in this situation. Can you stand tall and finish this game?
Blake Shapen did it for Mississippi State. Can Josh Hoover do it for TCU?
He stopped short of the 1st down, so the clock will continue to run. TCU has to move quickly.
So they have 2 yards to pick up here. 2 yards to gain. Rogers gets up gingerly. We'll call it 2nd and 1, actually. It's intercepted. It's Martell Hughes. TCU led 17-0 with 4.5 left in the first half. Now this.
And we've seen Hughes make plays all day. And I'm just telling you, this TCU offense is going to see 18 in black in their nightmares. He's been everywhere, and he makes the finishing play tonight.
If not Crook, Martell Hughes. If not Miles Rouser, Martell Hughes. And ASU from this sellout crowd that dealt with a monsoon all day long. And for Josh Hoover, a difficult pill to swallow, but he'll grow from this. Arizona State now puts itself into a position of enjoying all day Saturday, getting a week off before having to play Utah. And oh, what a feeling that is in the Valley of the Sun. Here they come. It's a late rushing of the field, but it is a rushing of the field. And the fireworks are going off. Partner, I don't know about you, but I'm really looking forward to a great Saturday tomorrow.
Yeah.
After what was every bit the frenetic Friday we thought we'd have.
What a football game in the desert on a Friday night.
So much for that flooding that we were anticipating before 6. They're flooding onto the field now. We'll be back to wrap it up. Sam Levitt does it again. Kenny Dillingham, the man of the hour. We've had some time for things to calm down just a little, but moments ago, our Josh Sims was with both Kenny Dillingham and his star, Sam Levitt. Josh?
All right, Coach, you asked if every game last week was going to be like this. Well, you get another nail-biter. What was the difference?
I mean, our guys make plays when the game's on the line. Game's on the line, 4th down, makes a play. And game's on the line for us, Martell makes a play. That's our identity.
How about your kicker, the way he bounced back? Obviously a rough night with the 2 missed field goals, but he comes through when it matters.
Never a doubt. Never a doubt. Never a doubt. Not one doubt in my, not one doubt.
Sam, you talked about these type of big-time games you want to be in. What can you say, first of all, about the way the defense responded at the end of the game to give you those opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, they make plays every single time when the game's on the line. Nothing but faith in them. I'm not worried one bit on the sideline. If y'all had a heart monitor on me, it would be real low when they're on the field. So big credit to them. You know, I go against them every day in practice, and it's the best defense I play.
You guys get the ball back, down by a touchdown with about 5 minutes to go. Talk to me about what was going through your mind during that drive that led to that touchdown to Tyson.
I mean, we were already rolling, you know, so taking care of the ball and just doing what the defense gives me. I don't got to make any plays. We got plenty of time. Taking care of the ball, and, you know, guys are being in the right spot. You know, got to clean up some penalties, but just really proud of the guys. You know, we just, like I said, we got a really tough team. We constantly bounce back.
Congrats on the win, fellas.
Thank you.
Some have compared Sam Levitt to the great Johnny Manziel of Texas A&M. Others have compared him to a gamer, slight of size, but a winner, a guy that makes plays like Breeze did at Purdue. Either way, he is the man of the hour, and Kenny Dillingham's young team has now won 8 consecutive Big 12 games. We want to thank you for being with us tonight. What an outstanding performance by both teams. A tough loss for TCU, but you can bet Josh Hoover will be heard from again. And for this team, Jordan Tyson, arguably one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in college football, The beat goes on, and Utah is waiting in the wings, but they get a week off after enjoying a Saturday full of football that we'll be able to watch as well. For all of our crew, Jake Jolivet, our producer, director Dustin Denty, Josh Franz, and so many others out in the truck. And on top of that, the one and only Scott Alexander and Brett Bender, my spotter, Jack Tuttle, along with Devin Gardner and Josh Sims. This is Tim Brando saying so long. Enjoy USC and Illinois tomorrow.